Yeah.
And hello, everybody. We are
Hey!
Happy Tuesday. We're so excited.
Amber Temple, y'all.
Part two.
Well, part two.
Part 2 of 2 of 3. Yeah. All the possibilities.
All the squishy Danny.
As sequels get more and more complicated. Part 2, the second.
Yeah, classic
At
Danny.
what
Second.
point
The
does it go
second,
from the
the
Amber
return.
Temple to just Amber Temple? It's like the
The
fourth or
Twizzler.
fifth one.
That's the campaign.
Well, the band's actually called Amber Temple, but we've been referring to them as the Amber Temple ever since Hotel California came out.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Fair play. But yeah, so we are in the Amber Temple. I have no words today.
I'm not
words
in the
are-
Amber
words are
Temple.
words.
So we're,
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Amber
I mean,
Temple.
you're
I'm
at
outside
the
of
door
it.
of it. Of the...
I was also running late today, so I did not
Rude.
get as settled as I normally
Rude.
would. I know. I'm so sorry. I was printing off all of the nice new terrain pieces.
Yeah, God, Jordy.
yeah.
What the shit?
Let's just say
Where's our-
we're gonna do a long rest and just role play at least 2 to 3 hours.
you big snatching?
I'm very
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
Oh, so Critical Role.
Use Baby Yoda.
Whoa!
That's what we sign up for.
Now, in order to get started,
That's
we're going to
just-
need an occupation
wrapped
and a
in
location. All right.
Remember,
Yeah.
guys, yes and.
Do we have? Oh yeah, we've got announcements this week. Adventure
Yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
We got a lot of
Okay.
announcements. So, Kaylee.
So we are officially an affiliate of Adventure Dice, which is awesome.
We're a real stream.
We're gonna just, I know you guys have seen this before, but I'm gonna show you one more time how amazing these
There you go.
these unicorn snot dice are. They're like holographic glitter and rainbow. So many other ones that they have are just beautiful, and they're local. They're in Langley. We love fellow Canadian makers. That's really great.
Support local.
Support local. They do great shipping deals, especially if, like, as you are in Canada, it's free shipping. They're really awesome folks. And yeah, so you can use our code Dicecream on their site for 10% off. Full on 10%.
Just in time for the holidays.
It is
Guys.
It might be too late to
those
ship for the holidays. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
never mind.
Maybe
Just-
not if you're in Vancouver. It might
Just
be
in
fine.
time for
To say
shit,
sorry,
how
I
late?
forgot
'Cause
your
you could say-
Just in time to
just
treat
in-
yourself.
Just in time for
yeah.
Kwanzaa. You
Yeah.
get that after.
Just in
For
time
New
for your
Year.
for your New Year 8-hour roleplay session.
Yeah.
Either on the board or off. And
Your new dice.
and in the new year, probably late January, I think we're gonna do a giveaway with them. With one of their
Yay.
awesome sets. And it's looking like it'll be a giveaway where they'll give us a code for a free dice, and you can actually pick which one you want
Oh my
on
god.
their site. I
This
think.
is like
Super
So,
More generous than I would
Cool.
yeah,
Pretty cool.
we're pretty stoked out of all the people for us to, have our first official partner. They're really
Yeah.
awesome, so we're really happy about this.
Yeah, I'm so
Super cool.
So you can check them out, at Adventure Dice on Instagram. Their website is adventuredice.ca.
We have the link in our
fucking
bio
Google.
too.
The link is
And
in our bio.
our Instagram.
It's our
Yeah.
Instagram.
So,
Yeah.
snaps for Adventure Dice.
Yay.
Thank you.
And hopefully we're probably all gonna start buying our own
Oh my god.
through
yeah.
them soon.
Yeah,
And, like,
we are.
I'm very
showcase them.
excited.
I
take
actually
fun
want the
pictures with them.
Plasma Singularity is the one I have my eye on, or the Adamantine one. I know I already have so many dice. You guys.
There's
don't
one
judge
called
me.
Tsunami.
Yeah, that's for you.
That's for me.
That's me, yes.
But yeah, we'll do like a photo. I want to do like a fun photo shoot
Yeah.
with like stuff that
Yeah, a whole
Oh,
bunch
that'd
of
be
different dice.
cute.
That
Do we have
sounds
D20 pasties? If not, we should.
we
You know I'd be into that.
Google
that
Etsy.
shit.
Shirtless Tuesdays.
sub to the page.
Coming.
I mean, I get
Let's
this
make
binary
them.
chest out all the time.
Subscribe to our OnlyFans for that.
Our Patreon. Our
Yeah, a
private
Our
Patreon
non-existent
to see
Patreon.
these
Yeah.
non-binary
Patreon,
whatever
Gumroad.
these are.
Subscribe to our Pornhub account, which will just be Topless Tuesdays.
Slide on into my fur affinity account. You know
Oh
what
my
I'm
Oh
doing.
my god.
All
All right, moving on.
Amazing.
Okay,
Check out
can
Kevin
I?
on.
Get by himself.
Emma has something to say.
I have more promo, which I was not expecting to have. More promo for myself.
Whoa.
But if you're based in the Vancouver area,
I
I
know.
made it through to the East Side Drag Derby finale.
Finale.
Yeah.
Yo.
It is this Thursday night at the Clubhouse, which is just off Main and First. Doors
Aw.
at 7 p.m., show at 8 p.m. There is going to be me and 8 other really
There's
wonderful...
gonna be me and only me.
No, there's gonna be 8 other truly wonderful performers. It's gonna be fucking insane. I cannot wait to see what everyone's gonna do, and I'm getting super excited about what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be great. So please come and support this drag band in their drag journey.
Yeah.
Support more local.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
local
Watch and
performers
see who
and
comes in
scenes.
second, because we already know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I've lost my dice.
I love he just claps into like
Jordy,
a
okay, I can
jelly.
I just
I
kind
can
of,
do
yeah,
a
you're
bit.
like,
I have dicing and borrowed already.
So what's in the news today?
any
Is there
more
things-
royals indicted?
Oh, Prince Andrew.
Oh.
No, but the important indictment is moving forward.
Yay!
Everybody should be very happy about
Prince
that.
Andrew getting indicted for sex crimes.
And the other one as well.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Ghislaine Maxwell
Suspect.
still on the run.
Yeah. No one's really bothering about her, even though. Anyway.
It seems weird.
Yeah, it seems
Yeah.
weird.
Photographed at an In-N-Out and then all of a sudden just disappeared.
Seems
Then you're
appropriate.
good. And then you're
There
good.
are no D20 pasties.
If you were a maker,
On
who
the
can
Holy
Trash.
shit, we found a hole in the market!
D20 pasties.
we want
Yeah.
that.
We want you to talk to us.
Guys, I
Dice
straight
cream
up
drag.
connect you with someone.
Just do our own D&D themed
Okay.
drag show.
Are we gonna make
I
D20
know, like,
pasties?
four
should
people.
connect
I feel like all it
with
takes
Fierce
is like some
Adventures
felt,
to
some
do
suction
it.
cups.
Oh, I know the
get
guy.
rid of-
And-
We talk
Yeah.
on Instagram all the
Oh,
time.
you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, Tim.
I know the performers,
use
but I don't know
double-sided
the
carpet
DM.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's invited me to come
Whatever.
by a few times. I just haven't been able to come.
I always
there.
think like it
But
has like
GM
nice
Tim,
Nice.
you're
suction
listening.
evenings.
Y'all
Or the
want
other
y'all want
drag
news right now?
I would love some
Oh.
news, Jesse.
An
Please.
Arizona man
Are you
registers
still looking for your
registers
Yeah, I
bees
really
as an
don't know
emotional
what's going on.
support.
You've
As
got
an emotional
millions of dice
support.
around you.
What?
Beans?
Bees.
Bees? What is this? The
Not
bee
the
movie?
Whoa!
Oh.
You like jazz? Favorite. Hey, Adventure Dice, if you can make bee movie themed dice,
Jesse
Buzz.
will buy
I
it.
will buy that multiple times over. Give it
Just
to
what is
my-
your persona?
So
Oh.
Jesse,
It's a rabbit.
Jesse, this guy who
Yeah, what's up?
registered the bees, this is an emotional support animal, right? The
Actually,
bees.
it's a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does he
want
call the
some
bees?
base?
Does he call
We
them
might
honey?
have to borrow
Uh,
some.
Oh!
I feel like
No,
this
it-
one would be good for you.
All right, let's roll down.
Jesse and Jesse
Alright.
in the morning.
Oh
Well,
my
okay.
god,
I
trying
think
all
we're
that.
good.
Moving
Yeah,
on.
we're-
Moving
Let's
on.
focus, you guys.
You
Focus
better
up,
tip-
Oh, are we
team.
in?
Focus
Okay,
up.
okay.
Because we are diving straight in with the flame skull still attacking you.
Ah,
Fuck.
fuck.
Oh,
Nine minutes. And we are back.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
everybody. So apparently I've lost me dice, so I'm borrowing some. So it's going to be interesting because y'all are making your own fates tonight.
I gave you my best ones.
Yeah,
They always
You're
crit.
advertising.
they always crit. Ha, ha, ha. Well, perhaps in my hands they shall. But yeah, so we're going
Get
to go
your
ahead
own
and dive
Twizzler.
straight in with two more flame skulls still attacking you.
Right in the thick of it.
From that side over there. Oh, yeah.
We walk down this side, right?
So you guys are all on the bottom floor now.
Not me.
Nobody's. Oh, sorry. You're up top still.
Up to him.
Goodbye, Elise.
Yep.
And she was never seen again.
And we've
Why?
got the one up top here.
Because she went
for
off on her
Eve.
own.
Are you just gonna get close?
No,
like,
you
by the
went-
three?
No,
No,
Leaf
Leaf is like
You-
outside.
No, yeah,
Pull
you're
through,
sorry.
you-
Sorry. Yes, I meant you're outside.
Did
Nobody
a
is still
good
up
job.
top.
No.
Everybody
No.
has jumped. Everybody's come
Yes.
down.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of you know that yet, though. All you
Oh,
know
yeah.
is
Oh,
the
ha,
darkness.
ha.
What's that?
Everyone's a bottom.
So-
Blah, blah, blah.
Why is Baby Yoda on the board?
I don't
He's
know.
the,
It's
he's
the
the
Gollum
statue.
statue.
Oh, I'm gonna
Because I don't. What did we use last time?
We
The
used a
unicorn.
pony.
We used the unicorn.
Right.
And I didn't bring
First
the
off, you
unicorn
just
with me.
rarity, not just
Somebody, one of our followers commented like, "Is no one going to talk about the giant unicorn?"
We talked about it
The
at
giant
length.
unicorn is being replaced by cute baby Yoda.
Yeah.
The
No,
child.
I was like,
child.
I was like, no, we're
The
not going
wee
to talk about
Ben
it.
Yoda.
Jordy likes
Yoda.
using weird weird
Weird names.
figures. I was like, plus it's fitting because Inakala is voicing a character. And then it's the fan who named their kid Soren, which is like the cutest thing ever.
My heart just expanded
Yeah.
3 times.
Be a
No.
good father, please.
Don't do that.
That sword kid is a dick.
Because Soren's had enough shitty dads. Hey-o.
Oh! Snap, crackle, and pop.
So, we come back with the battle mostly over, with the few flame skulls up on the far side. We rejoin the initiative order with everybody in place after Alith having shot down this person. You do see, all of you, the green flames of another flame skull going to take perch within its archer's nest on the opposite side of the room. After Alith, we immediately jump in with Les. You are wailing away with your spear on the wall, last I remember. Correct?
Right, we were trying to break down that fucking thing
Yeah.
to get some cover.
Okay, you got
So I will continue that tradition.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
An age-old,
Last 5
week-long
minutes
tradition.
Is wait, he still has. He's got one more round of bless, right? Like once it hits me, it's.
We're on the current last round of Bless.
Correct.
And I
it's
was on top
less
of the
than
round.
you.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
fine. So you do have
Use that
D4 to your
D4.
attacks.
I did some dummies to that wall.
Yeah,
though.
I've got it
Get my
recorded.
Sweet. I fucked up that wall. Like I'll fuck
so,
up any
Dr.
other
roll
wall
to hit
that's
the
ever
Yeah.
happened.
You do?
Yeah, well, because when
Necessary.
you're attacking, you're essentially trying to damage it, and then
Right,
damage
right,
changes
right,
the deal.
right. Let's go. Oh, fucking hit. Unnatural 20. Plus 23.
23. All right, that's
Nice.
enough. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
It's just a 6, I think. Because we're not going to do maneuvers on a wall.
Okay. I tripped the wall.
I tripped the wall, it's brown!
I distract the
Don't you get
wall.
your like bonuses and shit too?
No, yeah, but just for
he gets his
damage.
damage.
Oh,
If I do the maneuvers, it's plus another T.
That stone.
I just pictured Les
Um,
trying to do it.
He would.
That's
too.
great. He really would.
Definitely.
It's like, look that way.
18.
18. So with that, with the final heavy.
Oh no, sorry, just 8.
Oh.
Sorry, the plus 8 was to hit. I'm getting.
Okay.
Oh.
So it
So
was 8 damage total?
Yes.
Okay.
then.
So with the heavy crack of the spear against the wall, you finally shatter through, and you hear kind of a as if air has been escaping from the wall, as if this has been sealed for quite some time. But you have broken through, and the wall begins to crumble in on itself, and you've created a gap about 5 feet wide, which you immediately see.
Oh, shit.
That should click right in there. Yeah.
Guys, come
Jordy,
take
look
cover!
at
I'm breaking
this!
through!
Can we maybe show the camera so that
Yeah,
the people
point it down.
watching from home can see
Take this
this?
one.
You can take off my face, you don't need to see it.
I'll see this one. So yeah, so we created quite an elaborate dungeon here. So
Well,
that
you
wall is
said-
what they've broken down, essentially. This still
Yeah,
being a
give us
wall,
unearned.
but
Credit.
having enough space now to be able to file through into the opposite side. So, with that now breaking, we come to me. So.
I'm good. Some shit just flies
Wait,
over
can-
there.
Yeah, maybe every fucking thing in this place that doesn't mean us
Alrighty.
any good.
So,
You're not here.
I know. I'm just.
You're gonna
breaking
come back
through the
and
doors,
say,
you see what can only be described as treasure. 6 large piles gathered around this amber-walled room, and glancing at each, you see that they all contain heaps of assorted coins, jewels, armor, and weapons. Beyond them, in a wide alcove on the far side of the room, you see a huge crack. That's the area that's missing the corner. Roughly 3 feet across, has split the amber wall open in that place.
Someone at Chipotle.
Can we? Are we?
Oh my
we're over
God.
here, right?
So yeah, so that is essentially what remains of the wall. You've created a gap
just
wide
bought
enough for
them
all of you to
for
pass through into the room if you so
You guys all
choose.
want to go through? You guys coming in?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Come
So
through.
we're still moving in initiative order because the flame skulls cancel.
Oh
attack
shit,
you.
sorry, right.
So Les,
But I
you
go.
attacked. You have the ability to move into the room. Would you like to?
I'm gonna go into the room.
So you've got your movement to get in the room.
Is once I like, am I able to just kind of see if there's anything in here, like
Looking at it, you
danger-wise,
see 6 gigantic piles of coin and treasure, and the alcove on the far side of the room, and that's all.
fucking come to Papa. I go right for the treasure.
So we'll go ahead
Daddy
and
wants
Mario.
treasure.
Shiny.
I am afraid of no goddamn holy shrines of treasure, normal treasure, amble temple treasure,
Amble Temple.
amble temple
Amble
treasure.
temple?
Amble
So we'll
Temple.
mark
I'm
off.
nervous.
So the 6 piles
Me
of treasure.
too. This seems
I don't think
too
this is
good
for
to be
real.
true.
But it's not my round.
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, he
So
is
you've got 6
scaly.
piles of treasure,
Maybe it makes
essentially
sense he
3
has some
flanking each
dragon
side of the room.
We did it. We
So that's what you see as soon as you step in. You're essentially just moving into the middle of the room.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
is there? I won't.
You've used your action to break down the wall, so
Yeah, there's
it's
not
an
much I
action
can
to
do
dig for a
after
pile of
that.
treasure.
I can't hold my action at that point, right?
No, you only have a bonus action left if there's anything you want to do as a bonus.
Nope. So. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. All right. So on from Bless we come to Leaf. So with this, Bless is now expired,
Yeah,
but
Bless
you
is-
are there.
But I
You
think-
see the green flame starting to move over towards the.
Yeah, I think
The
my
slam
balls are playing around up there. The
That reminds me.
Oh!
Oh,
You
you make
ball.
another
We
fun
have a
thing?
spiritual
You
weapon.
treat me so.
Where do you want to put it?
Hey, well, it was right. It was
ball.
like right.
Yeah, it was essentially right up by the eye.
Yeah.
Can I bing
Yeah,
it?
That's
Can I crazy
pretty
frog
cool.
bing it?
So you got
It's
that. You can pop that
science
up top there.
world.
So much.
Yeah.
Do we have
It's
a?
science.
Alright.
So yeah, right now there aren't any of the flame skulls that you can see because they're moving. You can kind of see that the flame is licking around the corner, but they're not fully visible yet.
Okay.
But that is where your
Yeah.
spiritual weapon resides currently.
Okay, I might then just track it over to where we are because I don't think it can follow me if I go into the room. Like I think the distance on it it'll drop. It's like one.
So this is a weird thing for me because like the distance on a spell is your ability to cast that spell outside of that range. This is kind of a question for the group. Do you think that should dissipate, or you just no longer have the ability to control it?
Oh.
Because that's kind of an interesting one from my perspective. Because spiritual weapon, like if you move beyond the range, does it suddenly just drop, or are you unable to find the spell? And if you move back into range, you can start controlling it. Because that was the way that it always seemed like should be for me.
Yeah.
The spell still exists.
That makes
I think
sense
so.
to me.
It's just that you essentially, it's just on the edge of your periphery and you can't control
But I
it.
would say it doesn't do anything on its own.
Correct.
Just,
It doesn't
like,
act on its
stays
own.
in
It essentially
place.
just exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
So
In
I'll
that
say
case,
that's the
I might
case.
just sort of keep it there.
Sure.
And then climb through the hole
Yep.
after less.
All right. So you got 6 feet of movement.
Yeah.
6 squares of movement. So
So I
one,
can,
two,
I'll probably just,
three,
and then I'll just sort of file onto the side.
along the side here.
Sorry. I'll just go right there so I can let people through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And if I can, as my action, I want to cast Detect Magic
Sure.
and just be scoping for. I just kind of want to scope the room.
Okay.
See if there's any.
Let me just quickly read Detect Magic.
I just wanted to find the sword.
So we can get the
That's the whole reason I'm
heck out of here.
Let's
I'm
be
sorry,
honest.
that was harsh.
Get the.
Les is always
Yeah.
honest.
Sorry. I was just more making a queer joke.
I heard the queer joke, but I was making
I
a
know,
less
that
joke.
Yeah.
They're the same thing.
Magic.
But I'm always honest. When am I not honest? I'm painfully honest. I don't know how to
Let's
lie.
just
I'm
let him go
stupid.
with this.
Is he pegging me on it?
Let's let him go with this. I never peg him for a liar.
Because did you see that Bailey put
Okay.
our
You
photo
do
in
sense
the
the presence of
Oh,
magic
yeah.
within 30 feet of you.
She linked
currently
our
don't
YouTube
see
too, and I was like, oh.
Anything that triggers it, however.
Oh.
So you know, based on Detect Magic, you need to be able to see whatever the item is. If it's buried, hidden in some way, you can't see it. There's no ability for you to do that. So, but you do sense that there are 2 magical sources within 30 feet of you. You just can't see either of
Can
them.
I sense what type of magic those are?
You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object, and you learn at School of Magic if any so know.
Okay,
Because you need to be able to see it, and you need to use an action to do it.
sweet.
Okay.
Cool.
Alright, so that's going to be your action
I'm
and
just
move it.
buzzing in there.
You
Yep. It's
Alright,
magic in
on
here.
from Leaf, we come to Allura.
Oh, myself.
Yes.
I kind of take a look around and walk into the
Holy, I'm so sorry you have to run through a gauntlet.
room.
I'm fast.
Does it look like there's a reason why these piles are all separated into different piles?
It's not so much that there's like 6, clearly marked piles per se. It's just kind of
6
like
peaks of
6 kind of peaks of coin and things like that. Like some of the coin has been stacked, and you would imagine it kind of would make sense for like it to be stacked higher in certain places than others.
Okay.
But there's nothing that like specifically says like this 5 feet has coin, this 5 feet. Has
Right.
coin.
Okay. I'm gonna go to, I guess, kind of the back on the right side and start kind of rifling through for anything that looks like a shiny sword.
Sure. All right. So you start rifling through. Go ahead and
Or anything really, really like beautiful.
Sure. So
Anything that Allura would like.
Yes.
Anything that Allura would like.
Looking
All
for a
right.
cool hat.
Anything.
So
I feel like it makes sense that Leaf would have a hat.
Well, there were opportunities for hats along the way.
But he has a headband. Does he have
So,
a
rifling through, going through that pile at the back
Leaf's
corner,
based off of pro
you're
wrestling.
pulling out like thousands of coins. At first glance, just make a quick investigation check for me.
Do we just hit a windfall right here? There's
13?
I wonder if it's
13.
Peruvian or
Pulling through,
Sword Text Gold.
you would guess the amount of coinage here is probably in excess of 20,000 coins. Most of it appears to be copper pieces, about
Okay.
15, maybe like 2/3 of it
I
is
would-
copper pieces. But then another 7,000 appears to be gold.
Okay.
But the kind of rifling through them, they feel a little light for some reason. Kind of
Like-
pulling through again.
Okay.
Like when they bounce against the ground, you don't hear a click. You hear like a.
Okay.
That's me.
Someone who has dealt with a lot of coin,
Yep.
like, what do I think about that? Like, right away, am I like, this isn't real? Or.
There's a pretty good chance it's like coated fake coins or something along those lines.
Okay.
But you do also find you kind of reach in and your hand does graze against an obsidian scepter. And you pull that out, and it's about that long or so, and it's
Okay.
just pure black obsidian glass. Very valuable at first glance. You also see there's a series of rusted helms, like assorted pieces of armor, probably worthless, not really offering anything. But there are also 15 small leather-bound tomes. And just very, very small ones, look almost like books.
15, you said?
15, yeah.
Dear diary, today I killed my girlfriend and then I
Pulling
Love
one of them up, you kind of look at it, and it's the
P.S.
name on it
Talking to
is
you,
Snow
Johnny.
Dwarf
You
and the
were-
7 Whites.
I see. I get it.
classic snow door.
So that's what you find within your pile. That's your action and your movement.
Okay.
Anything's a bonus?
I would like to bonus hide behind this pile of coins.
Sure.
Yo,
You
screw
duck
that.
as low as you can.
Yeah.
I didn't
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
22.
22? Okay. You feel pretty well hidden. You kind of like pull some of the coins over yourself and you feel like smile a
Just
little
in case
bit.
anything pops out at us.
Blood.
Great. Next up, we come to the doctor.
Yo. You're
Wait,
good,
there's
right?
6. There's 6 for each of us. It was meant to be.
Kayla, you're good getting back in, you think? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, man, if you don't mind.
It would be like 3 turns.
Oh yeah,
to
what
get
do
to
you?
me anyway.
I need to reach.
I will be your arms.
Do you mind guiding me over to the closest pile there? That
This
guy?
one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
Just
wish
start.
to also do an investigate.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check for that one.
Do an investigate.
That's not the worst still. Where are my investigators? I forget. Oh, it's a 14.
14. So in comparison to Allura going through the one that seemed to have the highest amount of coinage, you go for the one with the ingots. So you've got iron ingots, probably 70, 80 whole ingots of iron, in excess of 2,000 pounds worth of iron. I'm not entirely sure on what a
Just call that
value
flat
is
armor.
on them.
No,
but
I don't know much
massive
about
amounts
this.
Well,
of
you could
weight.
make it into felt armor.
Yours also has a series of holy symbols, assorted gods, in comparison to you're normally seeing the ones for Palor. A lot of the stars, there are a few of those in there, but are definitely a few other ones. You see some that you especially recognize, not as, but as Tamora.
Okay.
Yeah, symbols for her as well.
Okay.
You also see there's a series of copper chalices and like filigree, really nice silver filigree inlay with them, probably worth a little bit of coin. A gilded skull with red garnets set into the eye sockets is kind of a nice one, especially on your side. And the other one is all assorted war pieces. You see 8 war hammers and 6 war picks. So just weapons kind of strewn within all the diamond bits. Definitely more kind of like a forging pile.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's your action and move.
Yeah. Can I just quickly, if possible, shout at... No, Leaf wouldn't have any idea of what's going on, what magic piles or what. So,
There's a very nice
you
cup there.
still have magic, detect magic up,
Yeah,
and you notice as they're rifling through, you're kind of looking around the room. Nothing is really pinging in either of these piles.
okay, great.
Okay.
Cool, I'm going to take stock and start planning what I'm going to take.
Sounds good. After the dark, we come...
real quick.
Yeah.
Any other specific holy or unholy symbols floating around in this pile that might be of interest?
The Dark Prince.
Most of them appear to be of lighter gods, but there are a few of the darker gods. Give me one sec.
Is there any of Lolth?
There are 2 of Lolth. There's also a broken spider, one that appears to be like a necklace chain with 2 pendants. That's a spider broken in half.
That's
that would be of one, especially for Lolth.
Lolth? Lolth is the drow god.
No.
Yeah.
I don't need Lolth.
Lolth.
I got my own guy.
Yeah, I got my own guy.
We don't know who it is.
Yeah, you
So
guys don't need to know.
a decent number. Nothing especially like outlandish. Definitely more so they're gods
They're
that are
practical.
prayed to,
Yeah.
but they are
Would be
definitely
actually-
practical.
Okay, spell it on here. It's Lolth.
Can you make Rick your
All right, so that's gonna be yours.
No.
You're up.
I followed you. You ready to get?
I'm also gonna go
Oh,
into
right. Sorry, I forgot.
Cassie.
Fucking
Oh,
guy.
Did he reappear?
Did you paint him?
No, he's still invisible.
Look at him.
But we know he's there.
No,
friend.
he's one of the pre-made
no.
D&D ones.
Okay, this was...
Yeah, I need to make a mini for him. I just don't really have one that I like.
Yeah, this one looks like Baba Yaga.
So, cool.
I'm gonna follow through into the room as well.
Okay.
And
10 more feet of movement.
10 more feet? Perfect. I'm gonna... I'm really skeptical looking at all of these piles of treasure.
Neatly arranged in 6 obvious piles.
One for each one of us.
Does it look
It's
as though
technically
there's...
concentrating.
Does it look as though there's any anything untoward, trap-like? in
You
this
would need
room?
to be able to identify one pile and really take a look at it.
Oh, okay.
Do they need to be closer to do that?
Yeah,
I
you
need
need
to
to be
go to
directly
one.
adjacent to one of the piles.
And you'd said that like the doctor's one kind of looked like forging, and then
Yeah,
that
forging
one looked.
pieces, definitely more like coinage.
Yeah. What do the other ones look like?
There's a series of them that are mostly coinage as well. The doctor just specifically went for one that looked on the more forging side. Allura's seem to have the most coin. There's a few other ones that you see kind of assorted little bits of maybe what might be like a tiara or a crown sticking out. Another that seems to have some kind of like a crystal and gems. It's kind of just up to you. You just pick one at random and see what's in it.
I kind of the one that you said crystal and gems.
Yeah.
That's kind of the one that I'm gonna.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. Have I got enough space to do that one?
You can only get to this one, or this one. You can't get to the farthest one.
You can't get to the back one. So, the one.
Is that one of the? Is that the one that I can't
No,
access?
it would be the one on this side, in the middle.
Good.
Yeah.
Reach it.
The one in between the doctor and Allura?
Yeah.
Okay.
So make an action investigation check for me.
Oh, this is exciting. Who's gonna find the sword?
That is a 19.
19. Digging through, you're pulling out handful after handful of silver pieces, clacking to the ground, sounding like regular coin, all just kind of loose, stacked piles, and just pulling it out. As things start to cascade down a little, you also find that there's a series of crystal balls. Looks like potentially scrying balls of some kind.
Scrying
There are
balls,
6
they're
of those.
watching you.
There's also a bronze crown with tiny gem-eyed dragons
It's Leaf's
for
hat.
spires. So the tips of the crowns are kind of these gem-eyed
I don't
dragons,
think
little
Will wants
tiny
to give
ones.
Leaf a gift right now.
There's also a life-sized wooden pony that's kind of just buried amongst
Sorry.
this, and as the whole
Sorry, you say a life-sized wooden pony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a miniature, like a.
It's like a dragon's treasure trove.
But it's
It's
just
tiny.
genuine.
Are we talking little Sebastian sized, or are we
We're
talking
talking
like cinnamon sized?
Like
No,
pony
not
size.
cinnamon size. Cinnamon is a gilded
Is a
war
horse.
horse.
Yeah,
No,
a pony is
we're
like
talking like a Shetland pony, like you know
Right.
the little
It's still
little
pretty
baby
cute.
ones. And with all the coinage and everything else, it's kind of piled on top. It's kind of the easiest thing for everything to stack on top of. You kind of
Stay
pull it all
gold,
off.
pony boy.
And then as
it
well
inside
6
this?
marble vases. You
And
mistook
6 marble vases.
You mistook them as coins, or sorry, as gems, I should say. But as you pull
inside the
everything
pony.
out, you're realizing these are actually full-size marble vases for flowers and things.
How the fuck are we
So
gonna do
decent amount.
Just in case we want to KonMari the wagon.
Guys, we have a bag of holding.
How does the if
Yeah, there's a bag
I
of
have
holding.
anything left? Does that pony sound hollow if I knock on it?
No, it appears to be solid wood.
Trojan horse, damn it.
Still good.
That's what I was thinking too.
Me too.
All right, that's yours.
Yeah, I don't believe I have anything kind of that bonus that can help
So-
with. Actually, no. I was like, can I?
So
Maybe
Casimir's going to go ahead and move into the room as well,
Hey.
silently. None of you know that he's there.
What is his?
Oh yeah, he's invisible still, isn't he?
Yeah, he's invisible.
My
Right,
ass
right.
tingles. Another magical
So
thing.
he's just
10,
essentially
15.
inside. He steps around the corner, and that's it.
20.
He's like up against the wall.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, he
Why
is.
isn't
Okay,
anyone?
well-
What's with this door?
That's going to be
Oh my
him.
God.
Next up, we would come to the Flame Skulls, but they have no targets currently.
Yeah,
So they're just kind of bobbing and
Fuck,
waiting.
there was that.
Top of the round, we come to Relief, so outside.
All right.
I think it's just
So the guy's horse has disappeared,
It's
and
disappeared.
he's collapsed onto the ground dead. That's where we left it off last time.
That is where we left off last time. Yeah.
How far away from me is he? Out into the walkway?
He's a good 300, 400 feet from you.
300 feet.
Yeah. He had a decent bit of a gain on you, and this horse, the Phantom Steed that he summoned, seemed to have some kind of an additional urgency to
Okay.
it.
And is Cinnamon there?
Cinnamon is still there, as is your wagon.
Okay. How much movement does Cinnamon have per round?
Cinnamon's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let me. Here you go. 60.
Perfect. Okay, well that's
I swear to
twice
God,
mine.
this is just a regular train.
Well I can't ask help right now, but I imagine that they would want me to be as safe as I could by using Cinnamon instead of going out on foot. Looking up in the sky, is there any sign of a rock?
So there's the cliff overhang that kind of hangs above you, so looking out above, nothing that you can really see. And you know from the experiences you've had before, the rock typically more so appears at night.
Night. Yeah. Alright, I'll put a hand on Cinnamon, try to communicate with them a little bit and see if it's alright for me to climb up, and then I will, if they assent.
Make an
Or,
animal handling check at advantage.
yeah.
Hey.
Fuck no.
Consent is cool, kids.
Cinnamon with
Yeah.
important.
Cinnamon kicks.
I think you like sent a message to them
I-
as well in
I
combat.
wanted to, but I don't think I was within reach.
21.
21, good enough. No issues at all. Recognizing you as someone who has traveled alongside Hope for quite a while, you're able to climb up on top. I would say it would use half your movement to get on top of Cinnamon, and so you could use the other half at full speed with your action to move an additional.
40.
What's the speed of
It's
Cinnamon?
60.
60. So you could go half 30 and then an additional 60 because you're using your action to dash.
Okay.
Do you still have that thing that you cast earlier to make
That's
you
only
move
one
faster?
round,
Oh.
and I'm low on spells, so I probably won't cast it again.
That was cool.
That's fine. I'll just go the full 90 feet and then see what else can be done.
Okay. Les, we come back to you.
Alrighty, Roo. I see everybody else looking at their treasure. I tried to, not be the greedy one, but everyone else wants to get their fill, so I'll go there first. Fine, whatever.
Yeah,
fine.
we're just looking.
We're trying to
I
find a
will
sword.
look at my own pile over there as well.
The one in the middle?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, Les, digging through this one, you see there is a massive pile of loose silver, in excess of probably 10,000 silver pieces. All of it, none of it, Strahd gold. Strahd silver. By the way, all of you are recognizing
I
this
was
is
going to ask
all
that, but I'm not there.
regular coinage from assorted places, from the Sword Coast, but some of it you actually don't recognize
From
at all. Let's make an investigation check for me.
Alrighty, Roo.
You see your face staring.
It's
13. Pulling through the coin, kind of getting out of the way, your hand catches on a series of things. 5 rusted suits of ring mail, a series of rusted breastplates, just kind of broken armor. Looks like what may have once been very nice pieces when it was first put in here, just destroyed by time, unfortunately.
Is anyone else noticing that this isn't Strahd money?
You do also kind of go through further and kind of feel your hand catch against the edge of a blade, series of blades, and the 4 rusted great swords start pulling out.
You can mend them.
Realize you're kind of running your hands along the blade, realize, I should be a little careful, and you start grabbing them by the hilts and pulling out 1, 2, 3, 4. You do pull out one, actually, that seems to have survived the test of time, not made of iron, but made of silver. A very nice silver rapier. With a pink glass hilt, essentially a large ball at the tip of the hilt. And then lastly, you reach back in and you kind of like filtering around through what the rest of it is just coin, and you catch the edge of one more hilt, and then you pull out just a hilt.
Alright. Just a hilt? What does it look like?
Gold, leather wrappings around, Sunburst logo at the end of it. As you do so, sifting through the piles of coin, they begin to scatter and clack on each of your piles, impacting against the amber floor. And then all of a sudden, you realize there's a much heavier thud from across the room, and the stacked coins begin to shower down onto the floor as the steps get louder. I need all of you to roll initiative.
Knew something was.
As well, Leaf, you kind of seeing everybody pulling their stuff out. Your detect magic immediately pings on that sword. That is a magical item.
hilt? Sorry, aren't we already in initiative, though?
Oh, sorry, you're right. Never mind.
Oh,
good. I forgot.
Yeah.
Because this thing joins initiative. So, you hear the heavy thud echoing from across the other side of the room. You imagine it's from beyond the crack in the wall. And
This
then,
one here or
Yep,
here?
this side. That's a wall. I don't have a wall.
Do you want me to put one
I
here?
don't
Sure.
care.
Oh my god, time to stress eat. Oh no.
Well, you killed a skull, so good.
It just doesn't really fit.
Yo, pull up.
We can do
We got the fucking sword. Let's run.
So,
I got a stupid, useless hilt with
yeah.
So
no
there's
blade.
another
Might as
Alora,
well
you
destroy it.
hear the first heavy thud.
There's one more magical thing.
What seems like inches to your left, and you instinctively turn, and there's nothing there.
Oh, that's good.
Oh no.
Is this the
Drums
thing that was
in the-
the not good
Yeah.
thing?
Right?
No, that was the furry that we fought.
Where's the
Oh,
crazy,
the
scary
furry was the one
study
you were
music?
afraid of? Okay.
Oh, don't worry,
You
it's
were
coming.
afraid of the furry. Oh.
I thought you were
I thought it was
flirting with the furry.
Muriel is not a furry. She is a shapeshifter.
I mean, like
Laura,
in theory, there are
you kind of staring into the darkness. You don't see anything, and then all of a sudden, you kind of catch like the edge of something within the air as you just hear a whack and the impact against you as
I'm hidden.
Yeah, you're hidden. It's
That's true. Laura hid.
yeah.
You got hit. You
So,
got
still
got.
hit. That is a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. Okay.
I was.
Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa!
Maybe this thing has magical senses.
No, more so that it's directly beside you and it saw you hide.
Oh shit!
what?
2, that's 6. You take 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
As you just feel this heavy fist just crack into the side of your ribs. Second attack. 3 and 15. That'll be a 25 to hit.
Yeet. Yep.
That one is 26 points of bludgeoning
I
damage.
will use
Uncanny dodge.
Uncanny Dodge to have that. So what is that?
13.
13.
So you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage from the second hit.
32 minus 13.
19.
Okay.
So
Oh,
good
dear.
at math.
All right. As you kind of you feel these heavy impacts and kind of look up, and there is nothing there. After that, we come to Leaf.
Okay, I saw Allura get hit by that. Right?
You heard Allura get hit. You saw the coins scatter to the ground, but you looked there and there is nothing there.
Like
Okay,
I didn't.
Hold on, I gotta get the semantics on
You're
this one.
hidden.
I can't
So like,
I can't cast. I'm trying to think, like, if I can.
Also, detect magic is a concentration.
Yeah, it probably is. So I definitely.
Yeah.
Draw.
So the sphere has been. or
That's actually not a concentration spell.
Is it not?
Yeah, that's why it's so good.
Oh,
That's why I can do bless, because bless is.
Right.
That's why I can do that.
That's not. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Apologize. So.
Do I see with detect magic, any sort. I
You see nothing.
Fuck this thing.
You feel 2 presences of magic. You see less holding 1.
And I feel the
And
other
you
one.
feel
in
the second
my
one,
knees.
but you don't know what where it is.
Slow motion.
I don't want to gamble. No, fuck.
Halfway throwing it behind.
Would I get
It's
this?
useless.
No
Like,
sword here.
okay, so I wouldn't have seen. Can I, as a free action, yell to Allura? Allura, did something did you get hit by a spell? What was that?
I would
And
have
you
like.
just hear
Yeah.
coming from the
Okay.
inside of the room.
Okay, so I'm just trying to like. Can I? What I'm asking is, would I think something is invisible? If I think it's the thing from out there and it's gotten in or whatever, can I cast
It's possible.
dispel magic on it?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, go and cast a spell magic. What level do you want to cast it?
I think, like, fuck.
Because that's
So
the
you're
debate.
still way over here.
Sorry?
Yeah.
That's the debate.
I'm far away. I don't know. You guys are in trouble.
Hold up.
No.
Hold up.
I was thinking about that. I was like,
I
okay,
just
what
got- I
Elif
just
would
gotta see
do
where
would
the-
be to fetch the body before it
at,
gets scavenged by the rock.
Fourth
Yeah,
level.
just wait
Fourth
until you hear the
level.
Wilhelm scream.
Okay.
Ah!
Go and make a spellcasting ability check.
Yep.
Ah!
It's an 18.
The
18?
montages of just that scream
You
into
reach
the
out with
movies are
dispel
so
magic
good.
and try and like find something that isn't there, and then all of a sudden your hand kind of catches on something, and you like ripping a veil off of something hidden. You tear an invisibility spell
Is
off
it
of
the
an ember
furry?
golem.
No! What the
Oh!
That was
Oh, it's this guy.
invisible
no, I-
on this side of the
Oh
room,
shit!
directly beside
Wait,
Allura,
so
that
we've got
nobody
this-
walked into, nobody bumped into at all. As
Whatever, we
it
killed
now
before we
is
killed
visible.
again.
But this one, in comparison to the previous one that you saw, has no cracks of any kind.
Oh,
It appears fully
shit.
intact. So that's going to be your action. You've got your movement and your bonus.
I'm like up against I'm basically where I'd be anyways. So I'll just chill.
Just chill. All right, that's going to be your turn.
Can I, as a free action, yell to Les? Les, the sword you have is magic.
What do you mean? It's got no blade. It's stupid.
He would have just tossed it, I feel. That's would have just been like, no blade.
Yeah, fuck
It's
it.
right.
So that would be the golem. That would be a leaf. Allura, you're up.
Cool. What did I remember about the last one?
Seem to take no damage at all from your crossbow attacks or
Okay.
from the leaf's bow attacks.
Right, so,
Hits like a truck.
yeah.
But everything that you saw with it was was melee of some kind, whether it was fist attacks or throwing chunks of amber.
Right.
You don't see any chunks of amber around.
Okay. I'm going to attack with my rapier
Okay.
because it's magical and I think that might do some damage.
Yeah, go for it. You actually do remember that you attacked with your rapier on the last one and did do damage.
Did I?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
no,
thought-
no, you didn't.
we didn't
No,
because we
because
couldn't get-
you were never in melee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we couldn't get
Yeah.
close because we had the
Yeah, you had the
spines.
spike growth. Yeah, you're right.
It's a natural 1.
Ooh.
So, that's that. And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna back the fuck up.
So you kind of like, and the rapier almost bends a little, and you kind of instinctively pull it back and kind of even it out as the rest of your action.
Does that moving back from the golem?
Not for Allura.
Oh,
It's part of her
Roguey
swashbuckler
rogue.
pilot feat.
Slippery rogue. Yeah, I will, is that far enough away? I remember it had a lot of, like ranged attacks.
It can
too.
throw rocks.
Yeah, I'm fine. Fuck whatever.
Yeah, the major difference is last time it had the chunks of amber on the ground. This time
Right,
it doesn't
it's
seem
just
to
got
have any
coin.
of those.
It doesn't
Yeah, it's got
donkey
coins and random small
on
pieces.
barrels.
Alright,
Okay.
that's gonna be your turn, Doctor. You're up.
Cool.
Come on, buddy.
I am going to duck into the corner
Oh, what?
behind my. I don't have any spell slots right now.
Oh shit, bro.
Yeah, so I'm gonna duck right into the corner.
Here?
No,
This side?
like the corner of the room, like behind my
here?
pile.
Behind here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's the one. Well, maybe like a step closer in. Yeah, like right
Yeah, I was
behind
gonna
it.
say, don't be in the line of fire for the
No.
skulls.
I don't want to be in skull fire line. Cool. And I am going to just pew pew it 2 blasts.
Go for it. Make your attacks.
All right, that's a 23,
23 left.
and that's a 20, non-natural.
20 will also hit.
Cool. Great. That's 13 on the first one.
13,
I
okay.
just poked the button.
And-
Oh, I just
Oh!
9 on the
To
second
be fair,
one.
it's used in variables.
Yeah.
All right, good to know. Those are your 2 attacks and your movement. Anything else?
I can't pop the rod as a bonus. That's a full action. Right?
Which?
The rod.
No, that's an action.
That's an action, right?
It's
Okay.
an action to regain the spell slot.
Cool. No, then I am good.
That's your turn. Hope,
Yes.
you're up.
Okay.
So on the opposite side of the room.
Yeah, I'm going to try and fuck it up with my greatsword.
All right, awesome.
Do you want me to move
Running
you up to
across
them?
the
Yes,
room.
please.
Go ahead and make your attacks.
Hope is looking like halfway decent,
Cool.
I would say.
That's all I need. So make sure everything's okay.
All right.
All right,
First
so
attack.
first attack. That is a 15.
15 misses.
Damn.
Slams against the armor or against the amber, but doesn't actually crack it in any way.
Motherfuck. Ho ho! That's a 28.
28 will hit.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do you want to smite?
I want to use a new smite that I got as a level 3.
Oh.
Oh shit!
So what's your new smite?
I chose blinding smite.
Okay. And is that a bonus action or is it just when you hit? It
Oh,
happens?
that is a bonus action.
Okay. So we'll say you would have had to do that before.
Okay.
So as the
I'm
bonus
sorry.
action,
Is it
you
like a
casted
flash
Blinding
thing?
Smite. So as the bonus action, you cast Blinding Smite. Your weapon attack hits. So what does Blinding Smite do?
So blinding smite, next time I hit a creature with a melee weapon during the spell's duration, my weapon flares with bright light and the attack deals an extra 3d8 radiant damage. Additionally, the target must succeed on a constitution saving throw or be blinded until the spell ends.
Whoa!
How long is the effect?
1 minute,
And it's a
and the
concentration?
creature blinded by the spell must make a constitution saving throw at the end of each of its turns. On a successful
Robert's
save, it is no longer blinded.
And is it a concentration point?
It is.
Okay, so you've got a ring there for concentration.
Oops,
Sorry?
Here, I'll put it on you.
My hands are not quite that long. So Constitution saving throw. Now, good thing for him. That's an extra 1. Never mind.
Oh no!
How are my dice
Jordy.
working out for you,
So
Jordy?
the creature is considered blinded now.
Yeah.
We need
So-
some more fucking effect rings. Wait, no, I don't have blend.
Alright.
I need to print more. I've
Yeah.
only got blessed and concentration.
Well, I have those other paper ones.
Alright,
that's fine.
so I've got 3d8 and 2d6.
Yeah, go for it. Roll your damage.
Alright.
Okay,
Get
okay.
it.
That
Noticed
is,
it.
that is a 33.
33 points. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to be your whole
Use my
turn.
yellow dice to put on it.
And that's action bonus. Oh no, sorry. Oh yeah, that's your second attack because you missed one first. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
I
going
was
to be your
gonna
whole
say, you
turn.
can put your yellow
All right,
dice on it to be
next
like,
up
"You're
we
blinded."
come to.
Where's there?
Just blinded.
Dice
Kind
cap.
All right.
Yeah, brand new level 3 spell that
Casimir.
Oh, thank you, Casimir.
Oh, good.
Casimir.
Wherever you are, you crazy spaz.
I'm here.
Oh,
I don't
No, no,
trust
no, no.
Casimir. He's here for his own
Is that a
reasons.
bad one?
Yeah.
Oh
It's not ideal.
Casimir, he's going to go ahead and just cast a firebolt at it.
Jazz.
Jazz.
Me range spell attack.
The jazz.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Especially
Sorry.
this guy with the
I'm at
bees,
the
right?
level of comfortable
Looks like-
with you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
a
gonna
19
say
for Casimir to
a
hit.
word.
No,
He
that's
hits
fine.
for firebolt.
Yay, Casimir.
And that is.
I don't know if I have a yay Casimir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no,
have
we're kind of
words
like,
for
meh,
Casimir first.
Casimir.
Casimir, you got a lot of baggage, but then again, we all do, so let's go.
So you see out of nowhere this fire generate, and all of you instinctively turn and look over as the firebolt streaks past all of you, impacts against the golem. Does seem to take some damage, as a little bit of scorching appears on his
What
chest.
the fuck was that?
And he's just, I'm in the room with you. Let us defeat this and then we shall talk.
We better.
Alright, so that's going to be his turn. Top of the round, Alif. You
Hi.
move 120 feet towards, you're almost at the edge, almost being able to grab the sword. But you're
Almost at the edge.
That's your whole turn.
Yeah.
Next
Right
up,
there.
nonetheless.
Hey! Alright!
What are you doing?
Well,
Elite's getting a new wardrobe.
fuck this thing!
It's gonna be really goth, you guys.
I start throwing
For a
silver.
quick stalker.
Please bring the body back. I wish to speak to it.
I'm going
We'll see if I can
to
get it on the horse.
sidle up to my awesome
Seems like.
friend.
Well,
I don't know what I'm saying.
Are you saying you're coming up next to me?
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm like thinking like 9 things in my head at once. Gonna come up next to Hope and aid in this fight, and I'm going to do fainting. Yeah, fainting attack into goating attack.
Goading
Alright.
attack.
That's right.
Fainting attack first. Go ahead and do that.
Fainting attack first.
It's a fainting.
I make a
I'm a
goat
goat,
and I
so-
throw it at.
I'm like Capricorn.
Oh yeah. When are we? We're nearly at cop season.
We are so close.
Oh, that's bad.
No.
That's bad.
Bab.
That's 15, 16?
It was it was cocked. This one.
Yeah,
was
7 plus
cocked.
8. That's 15, right?
7
Yeah.
plus 8,
But it was
15.
Yeah.
it was cocked.
It was cocked.
It was
Yeah,
cocked?
it was cocked.
Yeah.
I just balanced it over and it just.
Oh, thank God.
Flipped
Okay.
sideways.
You crazy dumbo.
Slightly better. That's a 17.
17 just hit.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yes for cocked dice.
Yes, for cock dice. Alright, so I roll for damage for that one.
Yep.
And that's an additional d8, right?
So if it's fainting into goading, what does goading do?
Goading does with the d8 damage and gives.
So
you
also,
have to
sorry,
make.
you did roll at advantage because you went fainting, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did that.
Yep.
Goading attack is extra d8 of damage.
Okay.
You have to make a wisdom saving throw. Otherwise, if you fail, you get disadvantage on all attacks except me.
Good to know.
So this thing's blind.
Wisdom
and-
saving throw, that is a 7.
Hey!
So it's blind and goaded.
So it's blind and goaded, so it can only attack
Okay,
you, but it
come on,
can't
let's
see you.
Go.
So it has disadvantage
It already
on
had
all attacks
disadvantage? Oh,
anyways.
fuck.
But
Well.
you get to roll the extra damage.
That's true.
So you get 2d8 plus your d6.
If we die to this, I swear to God.
We will. You know it's the way.
Yeah.
Do you think that they would release the launch date?
17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. Nicely done. Okay, good to know. That's your first attack.
That's right.
Second attack.
And the second attack is going to be just normal because I'm out of maneuvers now.
Alright.
Just a
Make your attack.
regular swing.
That's
Take a
going to
little
be
pokey
a
poke.
19.
19 does hit.
Take a little pokey with your pointy.
Pointy with my pokey.
That's the other two.
Oh, that's a fucking 1, but it's plus 7, so 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Good to hear it.
Wes, how would you like to do?
Yeah, not even close. Alright, so that's going to be your whole turn. Bonus action, movement. You're all done.
No bonus actions for me, son.
Alright, so
I'll
that's going to be
banish
you.
this one.
On from less, we come to the golem. So the golem being hit by all of these attacks nearby. Hope and Less.
Are you ready to save me again?
I need you both. Yeah, knowing how many attacks are coming in against it, I need you both to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Yeah, and you're next to me, so you got a +2, friend.
Hey, that's good.
Wisdom save.
We have to do a wisdom save.
Oh,
throw.
that's
Got
bad.
damage.
That's good.
Oh,
That's bad.
that's real good for
Last
me.
round.
Right.
That's it.
But that was from.
Less.
That was from the.
That's a 5
Was,
for me.
Five.
Wait, no, plus 2.
Yeah.
7.
Oh no.
That's a start.
Great job.
Yeah, 23.
23. Hope you kind of you
Seems
feel your
appropriate for the
movements get a little bit
wisdom
sluggish.
Exactly.
Like pulling your hand through the air just gets harder. But you manage to kind of push through the effect and become unaffected by it. Less, however, you as you finish your 2 strikes, confidently striding back, you kind of like take a step and kind of go to pump your fists up in the air, really excited, and your hands just. And you kind of feel yourself. You are slowed.
Ah.
You can
Bullet
make
time.
1 weapon attack on your turn. You cannot take reactions. You can either take an action or you can either take an action or bonus action,
Right.
but not both. You cannot take reactions, and your movement speed is halved.
Fuck. It's alright, I'm right where I want to be anyway.
Yeah. Oh, and you can't make more than 1 attack on your turn. So
Cool.
you can essentially hit it 1 time.
Now you're in a great
Just
place
like
to soak
me.
up
All
some
right.
damage.
That's going to be its action. And next up, we're going to come from there to Leaf.
Sweet.
Oh, with its roll, like it can try and break the blindness.
Oh yes, thank you. Trying to like the blindness.
Sorry, I'm just being honest.
To be honest.
That's
Radical
a
honesty.
28. Pretty sure that succeeds.
Yeah, I think it was like
Yeah. All right.
Darn.
But it has disadvantage with my attack.
Oh yeah, was it not
yeah.
a disadvantage onto left?
All attacks
first?
except for me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Until
the saving
when?
throw would
Because
do that.
goading will say like
It would be a round.
If
It
it's
doesn't
on
say
it.
1 round.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
Probably till the next round, till it gets to
Quest-
me again.
Question, Jordy. Would it have been able to like make us do that wisdom throw? Would that not have been like us at advantage with it
No.
being blind? No.
Because it's you being affected by a spell or by an effect, not it trying to attack.
Okay.
Blinded is specifically when a creature tries to make an attack, it is at disadvantage.
Okay.
I'm just looking it up.
Yep.
Damn it! Why did I
We'll
remind
come to
you?
that because it doesn't matter.
Why
But,
was I honest?
next up, we come
Until your
to...
next turn.
Your
Because
hope.
it's
Okay,
fair.
so,
It's only
so
the will.
essentially-
Disadvantage on all
Play the game.
attacks until my next turn, except for
It's not fun
Correct.
if you
So
know
it's
you're
not going to
cheating.
attack anything, so it's effectively nullified.
until my next turn.
Yeah, your
No,
next turn.
if you don't
come
attack
up, you
anyone.
come up before it in the initiative order. So your turn
Oh,
will
really?
happen. Yeah, you're right before it.
Oh.
So next up, we've got Leaf. What do you
I
do?
want to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Toll the Dead. All right, awesome. That's con save.
Whiz save.
Whiz save.
Yeah, so it's going to
That
be a
is
18.
ooh no 2.
Sick.
Ooh.
I'll take that. I got 2. Can I get a D12? I don't know why you
may.
can 2.
Oh.
That'll
Oh,
take-
what a
Go on,
rare-
my thing.
what a rare die.
Oh.
Now that one's unfortunately clogged.
That was for sure.
Whoa!
Tony Hawk Pro
Whoa!
That's 14 dammies.
14 damage. Good
That
to
was
know.
cool.
And
That was a sick ollie.
can I just, as like a
Yeah.
as a
I don't actually know.
free action to the group, can I just like observe? Does anyone look injured? Is anyone looking?
I'm
feeling
fine right
great.
now.
Fine. Okay.
I mean,
Everybody's
I could
looking
use-
okay except for Allura is doubled over in some pain.
Cool. Okay, I'll cast as a bonus action healing word at first level
Yep.
on Allura,
All right, go for it.
and yeah, it's just
All right, a little bit of.
hey,
a
that's
little bit
alright.
of boost.
That's alright. That's alright. That is
Allura, you're up next.
14.
14. All right, you heal 14 points.
Oh, and I heal some.
Oh, I heal 14.
You heal 14, yeah.
I'm running real dry, so if anyone else could not get hit, that would be great. That would just be Jim.
All right.
Jim Dandy. And that's it for me.
Okay.
Okay, that's gonna be your turn. Allura, you are up.
Oh, and if this will dispel because its turn is over.
Sorry.
This guy's gone anyway.
Oh yes, it is. I'll go ahead. Actually, no, it's yours. Hang on to it because you decide where it goes. Just slowly building all of your mini collections as well.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Okay, I will also go in. Okay, so 5, 10, 15. Oh, 15. Can I get behind it?
Behind it? Yeah,
Like-
you're able to. Yep. Yeah, that's
Like-
it's a full square. It's just you're kind of squeezed against the wall.
Yeah,
flank
my
him.
cape is in the way.
yeah.
What kind of cape?
Can I do.
That's cool.
It's more of like it's a cloak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a poncho.
Like a brocade cloak.
Oh yeah, there's a, like subtle pattern in there, like a
Tune into the
velvet.
page for the
Yeah,
cloak.
that makes sense.
I'm gonna attack this
Yeah,
thing.
your attack.
Da, da, da. So 28. No. Okay, hold on. Math is hard.
You got this.
23.
23 hits. You also do get sneak attack because you've got an ally within 5 feet.
Yes.
So that is going to be 5d6
Oh, furry.
and a d8.
Baby Yoda, baby Yoda, baby Yoda, baby Yoda.
If anybody wants one of those, I can print them. They take like an hour and a half. That's great.
Who wants your own baby?
I can also do like really big ones, like the size of this. They just take like 6 hours.
28
Young adult
points of
Yoda.
damage.
28 points of cold damage.
Nice.
Nice. Done. Awesome. As the heavy ice blossom across the center of its chest, you do notice there are a lot of cracks forming in the amber at this point. The creature does look substantially hurt.
And do I remember when I shot with my crossbow, did it look like it took less damage
No
or
damage.
no damage?
The crossbow bolt impacted and it just shattered across it.
Okay.
And you knew that should have impacted and dealt some damage.
Okay. I'm going to also then back up.
Yep. All right.
Ooh, how many did I... Okay, so 5,
Use
10,
Should have said
15, 20, 25, 30.
Are there
You
actually?
do still have your bonus action as well. So you could dash if you wanted to.
So chat's bummer.
No,
Sup,
bonus
chat?
action is disengage.
Nope. It's dash, disengage, or hide.
Future
No, but
drag.
so I use my...
Dragon.
Can that be your tactic?
Your swashbuckler?
Yeah, I
Nope.
think that.
The swashbuckler is a free disengage.
What's that?
Is it a free disengage?
Yeah, if you make a
I
melee
have
attack
been
against-
not using my bonus action because I thought it used my bonus action.
Yeah, well, it normally
Whoa,
does for
okay.
every other rogue, but Swashbuckler's whole thing is that they go, haha, and then they just get to leave.
Right. Okay.
Ha-ha.
I feel like I've.
Parkour.
Okay.
Just like
Yeah.
my dad.
You used to do it that way, so maybe
That's
it's just
in
like
character.
you
There it
forgetting
is.
that.
I still get a bonus action. Yeah. Okay.
So you've got a dash, a disengage, or a hide action.
Gosh darn rogues.
I will. I guess I'll.
So we're all gonna be rogues next campaign, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna hide
Oh my
There isn't
behind.
really
No, no,
anywhere
my boy
for you
was
to
just-
I
hide,
am
per
going
se.
to hide behind that pony.
Okay, so you kind of like duck as low as you can.
Yeah.
Your feet are still
I'm
sticking
gonna
out a little
plank
bit.
behind. No, I'm not gonna. Behind the pony.
All right, that's gonna be your turn. After you, we come to Doctor.
Hi.
Hope you're on deck.
How's he looking?
He's looking pretty hurt at this point.
I'm just gonna keep dropping blast.
Yeah, go for it. First attack.
Blast.
Need him.
That's a 20,
20 hits.
and the second one is a 14.
14 misses. Okay, first one hits.
Wow, that's 14.
14 points. Nicely done. All right, definitely looking hurt as the cracks are going. You kind of find one that looks like it's about to splinter and kind of spider vein it across the whole body. It's looking real rough.
I'm trying to harvest it.
All right, that's gonna be your
Sell it
turn.
later.
Hope you're up.
All
The
right.
golden pots.
We took some. Yeah.
Yeah, we can take more.
Gonna try and hit with my great sword again.
Go for it. First attack.
Make sure
Well,
Yeah.
that's fake gold.
If I'm wanting to use a bonus with it, are you wanting me to announce that bonus beforehand?
You have to.
Bulls.
Yeah. Because the whole point
Yeah,
of your
'cause
bonus
then-
actions is on your next hit, not on your next attack.
Yeah.
Right, so it's not like something where you're worried about it not doing anything, because it essentially keeps going until you hit a creature.
It's a bit more of a gamble than like an obvious thing, but if you do it,
Yeah, yours is more of a gamble because yours gives you advantage and then only gives you the damage if you hit.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and fuck it up so much. It's looking
Pretty fucked up,
It's
alright?
looking pretty hurt.
Yeah. So
Between you and me, I think we can.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
one attack.
I'm gonna do it with Divine Smite.
Okay.
Just a level 1 though.
Well, you decide that after you hit.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
roll the hit
Perfect.
first.
That was a 14 a hit, so
14
that's
misses.
not. Come on, you piece of. I rolled the exact same thing,
Oh,
so that die is
no.
going to
14
jail.
misses, yeah. So
You're
you're
out.
just kind of impacting against it, and the creature, even with its form, you're expecting it to hit, but it's kind of dodging in a way that your attacks are going into the cracks and not actually impacting against it in any way. So, no effects on your turn. After you, we come to Casimir.
Casimir,
We would come to Casimir, however,
Oh, that motherfucker.
Casimir, no!
Fucking.
I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
Shorty!
God damn it.
Little
As you
rascal.
hear a coming from outside the
Is
room.
it a spell effect?
It is a spell effect.
Fantastic. Okay.
Not great.
Okay, that's great.
Well, you
the
got a
furry
plus
never
2.
got caught, y'all.
Oh,
Yep. Furry got to the center of the room, turned invisible, and ran away.
What kind of saving?
Dexterity saving throw. So
just plus your dex, right?
you and Les gets the bonus. Nobody else does.
Yeah, just me and Liz.
Yeah. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So dex save, you're not there. Dex save.
15.
15. I believe
Sorry.
fails.
Oh, fuck. Well, that doesn't bode well.
God damn it.
1 second.
Whole room just blows up.
15 fails.
I failed. I'll
Fail.
tell you that.
23.
Success.
15.
Fail.
10.
Fail.
Oh no!
Guys.
All right, so
I rolled a 2.
This is gonna be great.
that's cocked.
Fuck you, Casimir!
Oh, I get such a fucking rush when I was just roll.
Being a dick!
I don't think it was Casimir that
Okay.
did that.
31 points of fire damage. 31 points of fire damage. 15 points of fire damage.
Cool.
31 points of fire damage. 15 points of fire damage because you take half.
Yes.
And you can also half that as a reaction if you wanted to.
Sure.
Down to
Can
7.
I?
Yeah.
I already used my reaction. No, it's the next round.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay.
So you take that down to 7.
I'm not looking good
Let me
now.
just double
Yeah,
check.
I was
I
just
wanna
gonna
make
say,
sure.
friends.
can that stack?
That
If
was
it-
just
that'd
my
be
temporary-
great.
I'm trying to remember on Candy Dodge. I think actually I'm gonna fix myself is
Yeah.
it's only weapon attacks.
Oh, damn.
Well,
Damn, they got me with those
When attacker,
dammies.
you can see. Never mind. You do take 15 points of
If we
damage.
ever have merch,
15.
15 points of
I
damage.
can't.
You can't have
What?
it because it's when an attacker hits you with an attack, you can see. Spell effect is not an attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
how's Casimir doing?
So 15.
Oh yeah, and Casimir.
Oh, I mean,
Oh, he succeeds, so
Hey,
he takes 15 as well.
Hey.
And he was at 21, so he's at 6.
oh my God,
He's
Casimir.
low. But he now knows that something is out there, and you do see turning all of you around to find the source of this, the visible
31.
fox-like creature kind of dancing on its
Fucking
hind
guy.
paws, holding a series of scrolls, now fully visible as it looks down at itself and kind of just, and then sneaks out of the way.
Fucking thing.
So I don't have a mini for him, so
I'm
we're
gonna
good.
punch Casimir so hard
I
in
don't
the
think
face.
this
Punch
is
the fox
Casimir's
first.
place.
It's the fox, not cats.
So the fox was
Oh,
here.
sorry.
10,
Yeah, I don't think
15,
Casimir's.
20.
Oh, look who might be coming back to meet the fox
That's
man.
that.
What does
Next
the
up
fox
is Casimir.
I'm dead.
Casimir, seeing the golem be as hurt as it is, he's going to turn
Fireball.
around, and him being set with a greater invisibility, the creature is not able to see him. So he's going to go ahead and he is going to cast Magic Missile at 5th level.
Whoa.
Yep.
That'll do it.
So that's
End
gonna
this! Whoever fucking did that, I'm gonna find you!
Be, so Magic Missile
Dancing
is
fox
just a
in the
whole bunch of D4s.
Ooh.
He's casting it at 5th level.
I'm
so
gonna
it
wear
hits.
you.
8
That's what I'm gonna
D4.
do.
It's just Frank Gorshin Riddler
3,
It's okay, he's an evil fox.
biting his dumb.
I'm just so
7
vegetarian.
D4s plus 1,
Even if that fox was killing your friends and your family?
3,
I
To
don't
be
want to wear
fair,
it.
I mean, what is the point
14,
between animal and human?
17, 18,
During my
Casting
TED
spells is
talk
pretty
today, I
close.
was here to
22.
discuss
23,
the reality behind
25
Okay,
points
we're back.
of magic missile damage to the Arcanoloth, which
Okay, so it was
had
around
9 hit points
Oh,
good.
as it falls.
does it
Goodbye.
turn into a pile of ash, Wile E. Coyote style?
No, it just falls to the ground, and damn, yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't know that.
Casimir just laid him
Casimir was
out.
invisible.
Good.
Yeah.
I wanted steaks.
Casimir laid him out.
I want his favorite.
Yeah, nothing else you can do. Okay, that's gonna be Casimir's turn. Next up, top of the round, we come to Leith. You're now next to. You can hop off. Grab the sword. You reach down for the sword, and as you do,
I'm not grabbing the sword just yet. I want to try and like pull the whole body up onto this and so I can carry it back.
sure, easy enough to do. I do need you to make a wisdom saving throw, as the screaming echoing around not only his form, but it seems to be emanating almost from within the sword. I just need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay.
Don't go crazy.
A wisdom
about
saving
it.
throw?
Correct.
Don't lose yourself.
Wow.
16.
16?
Nice.
Yeah. So you do manage to kind of stave off the effect and like throw him far enough away and like cover him up with enough stuff that the effect is muted, but you do kind of hear the screaming emanating from behind you as you hop on the cinnamon and start to go back. So you're about 60 feet back from where he is.
I need a sword.
You still got a ways to go. Alright, that's gonna be your turn. Next up we come to Les.
Fuck this thing.
So you got one attack. Go make your
Going
attack.
down.
Make your attack.
One attack.
$6 million man.
Fucking timber time. That is 13 plus 8.
21 will hit.
Oh.
Roll damage.
Really having the first
Here
Bury the
comes
lead.
lucky number 6. Woo. 6
yeah.
points. Nope, 6 plus 7. So that
30.
is 13. Yes.
13 points. Nicely done. Alright, definitely looking real hurt at this point, but still standing. On from you, we come to the... Oh, sorry, you do have half your movement speed if you would like to move.
I'm gonna move behind Hope. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. Alright, so next time we come to the
I will
golem.
take a step back though.
Alright.
You'll do an opportunity.
What do you mean no? Oh, it does. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I'll stay there.
So
Don't give it two
Silly.
attacks.
it's going to go ahead and seeing you having taken all that fire damage, it's just going to start laying into you as you've been the one. Yeah.
Bring it on.
Actually, you know what? No, it's going to go one to each of you. Yeah,
Ooh.
one for each fist.
Double fist.
First one against Les.
Kong.
Les, that is a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh. 20 to hit.
In classic
Hits.
Looney
Hits.
Tunes
Alright.
style, when he hits, do you guys come up with a
Bonk.
So, Les, you take 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ooh, 2 points left.
And Hope, you take 26 points of
I'm
bludgeoning
down.
damage.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm unconscious.
Hope is
don't come up as an
unconscious.
accordion, you're just
as the second one impacts heavily against both of you, almost dropping you less and then
would
just
work.
slamming into the ground beside you. Definitely shattering, parts of the amber breaking off, but not quite fallen yet. Leaf, you're up.
Cool. I'm gonna, as a bonus action, cast Healing Word on Hope.
Okay.
Bring them up.
Bring them
Oh,
up.
sorry.
Well, that's.
Would I take the concentration off of
13.
Yeah.
That's right.
Concentration drops.
13?
Yeah, 13.
Okay.
And I heal.
Yeah. Alright, so that's your bonus.
Yeah, that's my
You want
bonus.
to Toll the Dead or
Yeah, and then for my action, yeah,
Yep.
I'll do
Toll the Dead? That is a 9.
Cool.
Yeah,
Do you mind
so
if I borrow
2d12s.
again?
Here, take a fancy yourself.
Find a creature it works well against and abuse those d12s.
Oh, those, yeah.
That's good.
That, like, it might be, but I'll take it. Yeah. 14.
14? Alright. Real close as one of the arms falls to the ground. As it's just got the one fist remaining. That's going to be your
Guys,
turn.
I'm a side character. Let someone else take it.
Allura.
Oh, you're not.
I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time.
I'm
So
invested
5, 10,
in
15.
In this scene,
Attack
You're
with
the
my
Alan Tudyk of the
rapier.
group.
I have a theory that Leaf is going to be the one to kill Strahd.
Oh my god, that would be insane.
Because he's a cleric.
Yeah.
he is the
Just a
only
random
character.
out there
Or sorry,
theory.
22 to attack.
22 hits, damage. You do
Your
get sneak
time
attack as
will
well, because less threatening.
That's great. I've got a level 1 minor prep as I heal the party. Oh, that's
Right?
my
What
old-
did I- yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, not as good. 14. Oh, much better. Okay, hold on. So 22 points of damage?
Allura, striking into the center of the chest, the blossoming ice crystals kind of forming and holding the form together for a second before shattering, and then the amber falling to the ground and the head smashing against the ground and the beak detaching from the face and all of it
Wow.
falls.
Five Nights at Freddy's style.
Exactly. Nicely done.
Got some new
So-
followers there.
We mentioned the
Finally,
follow.
you find yourselves relaxed again. Everybody prepped, waiting. Something invisible coming out. 30 seconds pass. Nothing seems to be affecting you. Leaf, at this point, you return to the group under the cover of darkness, passing through the same way that you came in. Nothing seeming to pass, but you do walk past the dead body of the Archaeologist, the fox creature.
Collect it.
Sitting in the center. By this point, Casimir reappears.
I would have brought the body back with me if I could have, the other guy.
You hear the screaming, but you're kind of like you're.
I was gonna say, I
you're
would have
getting
muffled
used
the sword
to,
away.
Yeah, you're kind of getting used to the sounds at this point.
I can live with this.
And you eventually make your way into the room. The flame skulls, with no action of any kind for several rounds, they no longer have any interest in what's happening.
Oh,
down
great.
below. So you're able to pass by with no real issue.
So I just come upon this like scorched room with everyone like bleeding. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened here?
Allura, you did also notice with the fireball being cast, a lot of the coins, the ones that you kind of felt that were lighter and thudded on the ground, a lot of them are actually scorched and burning. You realize they were wood coins that seem to be like painted gold, as just maybe toy coinage of some kind for children.
I sold a lot of that to Blinsky.
Damn!
The silver does all appear to be real, and the copper does appear to be real, but the gold appears to be fake.
All of the gold is fake.
Correct.
There's no platinum or anything of a higher.
Not that you've seen so far. Yeah,
Okay.
you haven't really dived into all of the piles yet. You've still got 2 left.
Okay.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amanda, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna start actions, but if you've got
Oh, I just
questions-
want to. So the Flame Skulls don't have any interest in what's going on down there now.
Correct. They have no way to see any of you at the moment. They seem to have lost interest in what's happening because there's nothing in the immediate vicinity making enough noise to attract them.
What I have noticed coming through there, that being quiet, it seems that they're deactivated and that they're only attracted to the action.
You would imagine that would probably be the case.
Cool.
It would make sense why they were locked in that hallway in case anybody came in trying to assault. They would have free reign to cast spells at them.
We were actually told that by the original marauders that were up there, that they didn't like it when people attacked them. So I would relate to the party, like maybe if we just stay fairly quiet without too much spells, then we can prevent the attack.
I want to get to that fucking furry body and loot it. Give me that.
So we'll also say you can just pop this beside that little empty space in the wall as a path, essentially.
Oh.
So flip it upside down, and it'll be an actual path. So there is a 3-foot wide path that you can see that you can kind of squeeze yourselves through. It's for you. It's a little bit of a tough squeeze. You're essentially fully sideways shuffling through. The rest of you can walk almost at arm's width.
I'm gonna kneel down and hold hope until somebody.
They've already been
That's
up.
fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm okay.
You just kneel down and hold
And
it.
like Hope went down, and let's just.
Les is just like holding their knees, like.
Oh, sorry.
But 30 seconds.
No, you're gone.
But 30 seconds has passed. The second source of magic you would imagine would probably have been the Greater Invisibility spell cast on this creature. You also know from experience Greater Invisibility being a 4th level spell that you normally would have been able to dispel that. It appeared to have been cast at a much higher level to attempt to negate the ability of having it be dispelled.
Interesting.
So I got lucky.
I will tell you it actually was cast at an 8th level. So
Wow.
you did an 18 and you rolled an 18.
I just
Good job.
I just
I was
gotta-
really, that's why I was just like, yeah, go and roll. You're just like, I don't need to roll. I was like, yeah, you do.
I didn't.
So,
Well, then
it would
I
have
helped
been
them
real
up to
interesting if he was invisible the whole
Yeah.
time. All the attacks at advantage,
from your
hitting
mom.
for 3d8 plus 6.
Well, yeah, I also have Branding Smite, so if that had hit, then that would make it visible.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
No,
Okay,
no.
now that I've missed fucking everything,
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
just
to
walk
loot
in to
this
see
body.
everybody way more hurt.
Uh-huh.
The dead fox and a destroyed amber golem on the far side of the room.
I caught the drow, or the dusk elf.
And you see
Hi.
Casimir just look over and just like this look of scorn and derision across his face.
Casimir, we're going to
Kinda
have to
pulls
have
the
some
cloak up over his
words.
head a little bit more.
I feel like there's something you're not telling us about what's happened here and about what you can do.
And he just kind of stares at the ground a little and we need to rest. When we do that, I will explain everything.
All right.
We better. I want to loot the furry.
You want to learn first?
Heck yeah,
So
you
you
do.
very silently make your way out.
I now know it's
Looking through him, he has a
this bit.
massive compendium of spells.
Yay, take it.
None of them are spell scrolls.
That's
These
fine.
are all wizard
I
spells.
can sell this later.
But there are a lot. You're looking at probably a minimum of 20, 25 spells.
Whoa.
Being able to be cast if somebody had a wizard that you could transcribe the
You want
spells
me to
into.
put it in the bag of holding for you next?
Can I loot the dusk elf?
My magic initiative feat was wizard. Does that do anything?
No, because you don't have a spell book. It's more so if somebody multi-classes into wizard.
Right.
These are spells that can be transcribed into a spell
I'm
book.
just
so you don't
gonna
have to
list
find
that
them.
I have
Can
this
Leaf use
spell
any of
book.
them?
No, nobody can. It's specifically for a wizard.
I specifically that
Sorry.
class specific.
Casimir, however, said, do you mind if I have a quick look at that?
All right.
I
Give
can
us some
explain my
information.
situation first, of course.
Give us the
But,
information first.
I just may have some use for that.
Okay,
But
take
I
a look.
understand, of course.
You big crazy.
Let's can I finish looking through the rest of the
Oh
stuff?
yeah.
So looking through the rest of the piles, you find
Before you do.
looking at coinage and
We're gonna take a rest.
looking at coinage, you would imagine pulling everything out. There's probably in excess of 20,000 silver pieces, even more copper. 50,000 copper pieces.
Going on a whole vacation when we get back.
You also find of interesting note, you see a series of small gemstones in one of the piles, about 50 gold pieces each, about 30 of them, so that's a decent amount. A series of rusted shields and weapons and pieces of plates of armor, nothing really that can be used as actual armor anymore. You do, however, see there is a child-sized sarcophagus made of black wood,
Okay,
inlaid with
alright.
gold, with a hinged lid that is closed, but
Oh, is this a? Oh, sorry.
yeah, so that's one. You see there's 75 empty bottles that could be used to hold things like potions or
wow.
That'd be
flasks.
kind of cool.
So a decent amount of those. There is a
Catch
trunk
fairies.
filled with 6 fine dreams and gowns. Dresses and gowns, I should say.
I was like, dreams.
Is there any red ones?
I was hoping for dreams.
There are a few red ones.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh.
I'm just gonna put one of those in the bag just in case.
They don't appear to be the finest of garments.
Oh.
You would imagine, Allura, looking at these, probably 25, 30 gold pieces. Like
Oh.
to a normal
Like Ross's
to a
dress
normal
for
villager,
Ross.
this is probably more the nicest dress they would ever own. But to
TJ
anyone
Maxx
of a
sort of
noble
thing.
line, it's essentially like common folk clothes.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So
These
not the
look so
most
nice.
exquisite dress
Right.
in all of Barovia.
Um,
These are not.
There is, however, in one of the piles, a rotten wooden chest that has 500 gold pieces in it.
Oh,
And it appears to be Sword Coast insignia gold of that.
Do you want me to add this to the group loot?
Yeah.
Can we put all of this in
we-
the group?
Can we get like a list and we'll tell you
can.
what we've taken? Because it's been a lot of.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I
stuff.
didn't write down any of the
People-
silver, but I've written down the
sorry.
gems and the 500
The
sword
one
coastal
thing
gold.
I didn't write down anything that anyone else was looking at that
Yeah.
Allura wouldn't have.
It's all
So
good. So I'll just say, like, just to give a rough estimation as you take a little bit of time before a rest to plow through the piles, you would imagine the total value of everything in here probably in excess of 10 to 15,000 gold pieces.
Nice.
If you were to
Okay.
take
You just
every
want to say?
single
Do
thing.
you want to just say it's
No,
that?
because you can't take all of that with you.
Even in the bag of holding doesn't fit that.
no,
Not
it's
even
too
close.
heavy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's all in,
so
like,
just as a heads
pennies.
up, so 50 coins is 1 pound. So an
Right.
entire bag of holding is 2,500 coins. You've got in excess
Really?
of 70,000 coins.
Okay.
Or
I thought
sorry,
bag of holding, like everything that went in it went to a different
5,000
plane.
pounds, isn't it?
Sorry, no, it's 500 pounds.
500 pounds.
So it's 500 pounds, so 500 times 50. Yeah, it's 25.
can we carry in
Sorry,
hammers?
25,000 coins, I should say.
We're kind of approaching that, you guys.
Yeah, we've got.
Okay.
We gotta start investing in shit.
What?
Well, what can we carry
laundering our
each
money.
person as well?
Well, you can carry coins on your person as well. I
Yeah.
mean, 50 coins equate to 1 pound. So it's kind of up to you to decide, like, is silver worth carrying anymore?
I don't
Right?
think
Is
so.
copper worth carrying?
I don't think copper's worth carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's.
Hey, so-
how much in just in gold pieces?
In gold pieces alone, 500 gold.
Okay, we're definitely taking that.
I've got that written down. But you know what?
Okay.
I mean, we don't have that much room for much more silver than that because we have platinum, we have Barovian gold. I can get rid of the copper that we have for sure. But like,
Yeah, we could dump copper and take silver.
that wasn't that much.
Actually,
I would
no,
say we
the
still have a
stock.
like. That's
Well,
about all we
there
can
is
take.
a large amount of loot
Yeah.
per se. The real things of note that kind of pulling through everything were the
Yeah,
bronze
identify
crown
that
that you
sword.
found.
Bronze crown.
The crown is probably worth 750 to 1,000 gold pieces. Less, obviously, the sword that you hold being magical, or sorry, the hilt, I should say, being magical. No blade to it.
Yeah,
The hilt is magical.
pocketed that one.
who's taking the bronze
That's
crown, or do you want me to put
definitely
that?
magical. Please.
It was
don't
real
make it
pretty.
say
I would have taken the crown, but
Yep.
I wasn't there. That was what Hope picked up.
Yeah.
The silvered rapier as a weapon, definitely worth taking. Not
Okay.
so much in a value, but is a silver rapier, so
Okay.
potentially worth taking.
Yeah, one of
Um,
us.
Is that gold skull you were
Outside
talking
of
about?
that,
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
know what the
there was
damages for
this-
rapiers, Amanda?
1d8.
It's 1d8.
Jordy?
Yes.
The gold skull you said
That's
was in
actually
my
better than
pile?
the short
Gilded
sword.
The
skull.
gold skull
I would
within
ta- I
your
would take that then
pile
if you're-
is
if it's better than what you got, take that. Plus, it's pretty. It's got a glass,
about
pink
250
glass
gold.
hilt.
Because I used to have the two short
Um,
swords, but then I mostly ended up just using the one silver short sword with the shield, because it.
And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
Allura, for you, obsidian is a tough thing to gauge the value on. Go and just make a general intelligence check for me with this. And you can add your proficiency bonus to it, give your background.
12.
12? 2,000? 3,000 gold?
Oh, okay.
Like, just, you're not sure of an exact value, but definitely over 2,000.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go over to
Leaf
Leaf.
also wanted to.
yeah.
Yeah.
I go over to Leaf and pull out that gold sword hilt. And be like, hey, Leaf, you like things that go blinky, blinky, shiny, shiny, right?
Oh, that's true, and that is magical. So if you don't want me taking a look
Well,
at
if
it,
you want to get
I'll
fancy about it, alright, fine. But it
You know,
doesn't have a blade, so it's kind of useless. But whatever. And I just hand him the gold hilt.
Leaf, do you mind if I look at that with this?
Yeah, that's
I think that would be.
And like,
I
I know. Yeah, I pass it over to.
Okay.
Can
I'm
we?
gonna-
How many pages do we have left in the
We
book?
have 3.
Do we want to do this? Sorry,
The rapier?
slashy, not the rapier, the scimitar. Unless Casimir, you know the nature of this weapon, seeing as you know this person.
Since you're a drone.
And he just kind of nods a little bit, and you can see he's pretty hurt at this point. He's at 6 hit points, like he's about to drop. Kind
All
of
right.
thing. So he's kind of like his eyes are lolling a little bit. He's
Do you have a
about to
chunk
take
left,
short
or
rest.
I could?
He's about to
I
take
can-
a short rest, essentially.
Okay.
He's just going to take an hour instead.
Okay.
Okay, I could
So-
use a short rest myself.
I'm gonna. So are we
Should
gonna do a
we-
short rest,
Yeah. Can we do a long rest?
or is it into?
It hasn't been long enough for you to do a long rest because you only woke up
Yeah,
like, an
Alright,
hour ago,
I know.
basically.
Can we
Let's
run
go.
back to our-
Let's just okay. We'll gather the group and we'll go up to that enclosed room, not the one adjacent to the fire skulls, but the one where we found the body that they're telling behind the
Oh, with the wizard carcass.
yeah,
in it?
the wizard carcass.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do.
Hey, before anyone goes, anybody mind if I talk with the dead guy here?
Oh yeah, I was gonna loot him too before, not just the scimitar, but like I wanted to like check out the
Oh.
armor and stuff.
The tabaxi?
Yeah.
No. I wanted to talk to the elf.
You don't have any spell slots.
Yes, I
Oh, you
can
do
speak
because,
with
yeah.
dead at will now.
You can, yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Real quick, I just want to turn to Casimir and be like, okay, I know you're hurt. What's this guy's deal real quick? What's he about?
Why don't we wait to do this until after Casimir's rested and can tell us his story?
Is there a time constraint on the
Can we
spell?
please do that? I really...
Fine, okay, let's rest.
Take the.
And you can see, like,
Take it
he's
on.
actually...
We'll bring his body up with us.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's
Was there
seriously, we'll take
anything
the body.
else? Because you
So
said
you have
about
to
that
go hill.
walkway.
Go hill.
Was there anything at the end of that
You have to
walkway?
go
No, we're gonna
We're
come back
gonna
to
go-
it.
Okay.
Then we're all tapped
Bit
out.
battered up.
You see that it's a bit of a hole, a crack wide enough that you could walk through. There's no light on coming from the other side. You're not sure at first glance.
Let's go recover a little bit and then we'll go
Okay.
exploring.
I want to grab like just. Actually, no, we've got.
Yeah, let's wait till we get up there.
Okay.
By the way, Hope. Hell of a hit.
Dude,
That
Predator
was so like.
handshake.
That was
It was so weird.
The
I was
bar-
like, "Why are you coming
the
in?"
barbarian. Yeah.
So,
I don't feel
I was like,
very
"High five,"
silently-
and I was like, "Oh no, no!"
Can I get
Sorry.
all of you to roll stealth checks for me?
Yeah.
That's like the Schwarzenegger Predator, like Conan.
Natural 20 for Casimir.
Good job,
Tired.
Oh,
of
wow.
Not that tall.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh, natural one.
Me too.
Alright.
But it make 10.
10,
Free.
3,
15.
15,
21.
7,
21.
21. There's a couple of clanks, couple of stumbles in the dark, and you hear that flames start to light up, and kind of just eventually realize that the stealth isn't working, and you just rapidly pick up your pace. It wasn't desperately low enough as a group that you ended up getting hit by anything, but you could definitely imagine a couple moments longer, and you managed, and you would have probably been hit by a fireball. So,
Oh, that's nice.
making your way back up to the top, finding the room. The room is a bit too small for all 7 of you, but between the 2 rooms, you're able to kind of spread out a little bit. Casimir goes up against one of the walls. And,
I'll stay in the room with Casimir.
I will as well.
okay. So taking a short rest.
Yes, please.
Alrighty. So
So that means hit dice, right?
Yes.
hit
if
dice.
we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can use hit dice.
Before we do that, oh, actually, I guess we'll be in thing, but I want to put Channel Divinity into 15 hit points into Allura.
15 into ruler. Okay.
Yeah.
While
Alright.
we're doing that, can I roll up on the hilt?
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
the-
go for it.
Yeah, I'll let him know that it's magical if he's
Yep.
in that room.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do up on that, so you can
Yeah.
roll on that one.
Wow, now 20.
Ooh.
Oh,
What a
shit.
time for a natural 20.
I know. Great for me.
Do you need me to cast God? No.
No, we're fine. We're fine. Apparently my handwriting.
So how many
Better.
times I can roll the hit dice again?
You roll hit dice
think it has
one
since
at
you
a
got
time.
that,
Every time you roll it, you add your con
my
mod
fancy
until you
thing.
want to stop
Yes.
rolling or until
My-
you
my
reach your
tiara.
maximum number of usable
Right.
hit dice.
Oh, I'll give these back to Allura.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good.
Fast
I'm
track to the room.
excited to find out what that is.
So, as you all begin to sit down, your wounds slowly beginning to be tended to, bandages being applied. Casimir.
I have spider webs. Anyone wants spider webs on their...
Well, I'm fine, thank you though.
Yeah.
If I could have something else to assist me, that would be nice. Whatever,
Oh, yeah. I can,
whatever I can get.
I got spit.
I mean,
Got some
I can-
bark.
I can do 25 points into you.
that would be wonderful because yeah.
Have you
That...
used all your hit dice?
No, I haven't. I just really don't want to fucking use it all if we can't have a long rest for a while.
So I am fully tapped, but
I got my spells.
The only difference really is that hit dice can only be used on short rests, whereas spells obviously can be used at any point, so it's kind of it's a trade-off.
Alright, so is
Alright.
that 25 on me?
Sorry, I interrupted you for
Thank
Casimir's story.
It's all good.
Let's keep going.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So-
Casimir's lore.
Casimir kind of like closes his eyes for a few minutes or so, and you can see some of the wounds being tended to, and takes a few sips of water. What happened? This monster. He was the one who killed all of them. My sister, wives, and children. Every woman among us is dead by his blade.
He was the executioner? For Strahd?
Those screams you heard when you stood beside him, that you still hear. With that blade on the ground over there. the screams of every person that Woden has killed were in his hands.
That's fucking edgy.
There was a time when he was one of us. He predates me by over a century, at least 500 years old. But everyone among my people knew his legacy. Long ago, he was exiled after refusing to kneel to one of our leaders, instead kneeling before King Barov, Strahd's father. When our leaders refused to pay fealty to the king, he dispatched Strahd to slaughter the royal line and hunt the rest of our people, our own kin, like rabbits. After the king died and Strahd took the title, Rahadin was the one who brought my sister Petrina before him, before discarding her back to us as a broken woman. She was once a brilliant, talented soul. She had been influenced by his power and twisted beyond all reason by his madness. She could do nothing but long to return to him for years. But as time passed, her longing turned to hatred. Hatred of Strahd for discarding her, for turning her into this shadow of her former self. Eventually an idea began to take shape in her mind. We spent years planning of a way to kill him, finding a chance if it would ever come. And eventually it did. Over a century later, Rahadin returned. He came to take her again before Strahd. And the plan was put in action. But a few days passed and Rahadin returned alone, holding that cursed blade. We fought as best we could, but with the Vistani denying us weapons, there was simply nothing we could do to stand against him. And as the last of our warriors fell, I begged for his mercy, falling to my knees. He told me that our plan had failed, and Petrina had been slain by Strahd, but not before being tortured to find who helped her enact it. And for our part, he slew every one of us, everyone who conspired with her. And he slew our better halves to ensure that we could not have any children, no one to carry on the lineage of traitors as we were. But me. He left me to live with the guilt and suffering, but not without taking something of mine as well. And you see at this point, he pulls back his cowl, which you've seen him do a couple of times before, but he then runs a hand across his face, and as he does, some of you recognize the dispelling of an illusion spell. And although his features don't change, the sides of his head now reveal mottled, ragged scars where his ears once were. Let your reflection remind you of your failure, Rahadin said to me as he cuts them off. And so it does. This is why I must bring her back, to finish what we started. This is why I've slowly trained myself in these arcane ways, learn these spells to ensure the next time I wouldn't be as helpless as I was then. The next time I could save them, and that we could finally finish it. And he just kind of slumps against the wall.
Do we believe?
Roll an insight
I
check.
would love to roll an insight check.
Anybody at the table who would like to roll an insight check, please do so.
Wait, are we? Because we said we're in two different rooms. I probably wouldn't be in this room.
No, you two said that you were.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess
We're
that's
just talking shit. Like,
We'll say three can roll. You two especially.
Yeah.
And then whoever wanted to be the
that was
third.
crazy.
Unnatural 20.
20?
21.
21? Who's the third?
I don't know. It's out of you two.
I didn't
That's
roll.
Oh,
I didn't roll.
No,
are you
are
wanted
either of
to?
you in the room?
Yeah.
I had in my head said I wasn't in that room, but if
Oh.
everyone else
Yeah.
had said
If that was the case, then
like-
it would be between you two, whoever wanted to be in the room. It
I
could've
feel
even
like
just
Leaf
been
would
you
want
two.
to be in the room.
Leaf handed me the sword, so.
Okay, we'll
That
just leave it
tracks.
as you two. Because, yeah, you're focusing on the
Yeah.
rest. So, seems pretty heartfelt. There doesn't appear to be any stumbles in his story. It's either the truth or something very clearly well rehearsed.
Well, Rahadin won't be aiding Strahd any longer.
And I cannot thank you enough for that today.
So he took your sister to Strahd and returned her.
Apparently Strahd had seen her when the battles took place between Rahadin and what remained of the Dusk Elves. He took a liking to her, wanted to make her his bride, and grew tired of her
Was this after he had been turned?
before. She was returned to us.
The ultimate fuckboy.
So she was returned as having been bitten or having been turned.
She was not turned. She was
This was
simply
before
returned
he
to
was.
us.
Oh, I see.
This was before he became what he is now, this devil, this demon.
I see. Very well.
What was her plan for his destruction?
It was not well thought out, but if you are able to get in a close enough chamber to him while he sleeps, knowing what he had become, a stake to the heart will do wonders.
I can't imagine he would leave
It's not
himself
great for your cholesterol.
vulnerable.
What other choices did we have?
I know that you don't.
It was simply her regaining her ability of deception, being able to break past his guile and fully allow him to have her being part of his trusting circle again, and then have a chance.
Do you have any other knowledge about what hurts Strahd? Weaknesses?
Sunlight, of course. All vampires fear the sun. They stay inside away from it as best they possibly can.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Beyond that, they wouldn't stick to the heart as I know as a killing blow is one of the only things that can be done against them.
No particular blades or materials or anything of that sort?
We did not have access to any weapons, we did not have any knowledge. We simply knew that he was not this way. She went off to join him in the castle, and when she returned he had become what he is.
Perhaps she succeeded more than what was the name? Rahadin told you. If after her attempt on his life, he had to become what he is now.
He became what he was before she came back to us the first time.
Oh,
While she was there, his
I see.
change occurred.
So Rahadin's been working with Strahd for quite a while now.
He served his father for years before Strahd ever took the throne.
Interesting. So he would probably have an idea of weaknesses. What do you suppose he was doing here?
Well, he was here, I have no idea. I do know that he was Strahd's Chamberlain. He had been that for his father, and I assume he would have taken up the same mantle.
I see. I have a thing I want to do. Don't freak out. So I can disguise self and speak with dead at once, right? Good, cool. I guess I have Alith in the room with me, and anyone else? No, right?
Just to...
Well, Les just spoke to him, so I imagine
so-
Les.
Well,
Lester.
it's an open door as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Like, the conversation is also kind of there. It's
Okay.
more so that you two were the ones who were like watching him
Okay.
and stuff.
Fitting.
And these guys all heard everything with Strahd and all the Rahadin stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So, friends, I have a thought. We have this guy here. He's looking pretty dead. I can
I
talk
should hope so.
to that. What should we ask him? I wish to take the form of Strahd and do this. So let's be smart about it. We got 5 questions.
Why are you here? He's clearly sent here for some reason.
Solid question. Good start.
Yeah, perhaps in the words of, tell me how your current mission went.
Yep.
Something like that.
Like it.
Tell me things I really don't like. And
What's something I just don't like? Is it Mondays?
What was that
Like,
thing
no,
you did
it's
the other week
Mondays.
that I just hated?
Do
What
we,
about the thing he loves?
do we want to ask if he's been watching Irina?
Oh yeah, yes, good, yes, absolutely.
How is the spies
The
being?
tabaxi?
This is the Dusty
No, the
Elf.
elf.
The
It's
elf.
also not a tabaxi, it's a fox.
It's a fox.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just
sorry.
straight up a giant fox.
You know, ring ding 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 to do.
Yeah.
Thing the fox
Yes,
says.
yeah. It is what that is what the fox says. Okay. Wow, that was a.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
I like
Casimir, is there
The
anything?
internet is a place.
Is there
So-
anything that Casimir you would like an answer to?
Yeah, what happened?
Where is Petrina?
Where is
Cool,
her-
done.
Katrina.
All right, so that was
Fuck, Mary Kill should be one.
what is
I
it?
can see you're mourning your sister, but I'm sure that whatever happened to her, she felt it was worth it to get a crack at Strahd.
If you are about to do what I think you are going to do,
Yes,
I will find myself to another room.
probably
I
wise.
not look at a face such as his, even utter a single word. Or hear
Suits
his
me.
godforsaken voice again.
Suits me fine. So questions again. What are you doing here? What's your mission? What's your mission up to? How's that going?
Can we phrase that in a way that we can use one question to ask those two things?
Report on your current mission.
That's more of an order than a question, though. Would he respond to that?
Mission report. So
Like I feel like those two questions are really, really similar. So if we are able to phrase them in a really smart way, we can.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? That's
Or
fair.
perhaps we ask how the mission is going first, and if that doesn't answer the question of why are you here,
Yeah.
Then why are you here?
then we can ask that.
Yeah. So, what is your mission?
Yeah.
1A, why are you here? 2,
Maybe.
Have you been watching Irina?
right.
Or have I been watching Irina?
Yes.
I suppose.
Report on Irina, maybe?
Maybe could you see if there's anyone else in Barovia that
Good
Who are
question.
your who are your
Yeah.
kind of
Those are people
Who are your contacts in in do you mean Barovia or do you mean Valaki?
lucky?
Probably.
What is the current status of your contacts?
Boys, contacts.
Master
Our
whisperers,
friends,
or what?
Sorry, what was the name? What was Casimir's sister's name again? Patricia?
Katrina.
Patrina.
Where is Patrina? Like, what happened to Patrina?
I think we just say,
Patrina?
where is she?
Where is, yeah.
Because if she's dead, then they'll tell us that. If she's somehow being captured.
Okay, so I got 4 questions. What's your mission? What are you doing in the temple? Report on Irina. Where is Patrina?
you got one more.
One more potential one in case we have to ask a second.
No, we get 5.
You got a total of 5.
Yeah.
You have 4.
So
left.
if one is answered, if the mission
Yeah.
1 answers
Right.
why he's at the temple, then we have 2 more. So pick a bonus round, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck, Mary Kill?
how are you feeling?
What about this sun sword?
How's it-
Sorry,
Oh, yeah, by the
where's
way.
the blade of the sun sword?
Yeah, by the way, the sun sword
I
seems
gave it
pretty
to
cool.
Leaf.
No, but like
I didn't read
it's
it.
in its original form, the sun sword was a unique weapon with a platinum hilt and a thin crystal blade as strong as steel. However, at the request of Strahd von Zarevich, the blade and the hilt were separated by a powerful wizard, and the crystal was destroyed, leaving only the hilt behind.
Yeah, so this seems kind of treasury based on what we've been talking
Does
about.
that not mean that this can't be used in its current form? We have to find a blade
Read
for
the
it.
thing.
No,
'Cause, yeah.
read the rest of it.
Oh,
It's a lightsaber.
Keep going.
oh, okay.
Oh shit.
That's pretty
Essentially,
cool.
the crystal was one, but the sword could not be contained within the hilt, and you essentially activate the sword, and it creates a blade.
Dude.
It's got a nerd boner. It's very cool.
So we'll figure out who gets that once we're done Operation
Would that,
Talk
like-
to Dead Guy.
Would Elif have a hard
Smite,
time being
smite,
around the
smite,
sun
smite,
sword?
smite. We all
It
knew
is
you were
considered
dead.
direct sunlight. You would actually be in disadvantage if you were to be attacking in a room with the sun sword in plain view.
I mean, I need some.
The thing with the
stuff
sun sword as well, just so everybody's aware, is you can read that out at the top.
This item appears to be simply a long sword hilt, but while grasping it, you can use a bonus action to cause a blade of pure radiance to appear or disappear. There it is.
Schwartz.
If you
I
are
was just thinking
proficient,
that.
if you are proficient with short swords or long swords, you are proficient with the sun sword, and the sword has the finesse property. You
You can
gain
use dexterity.
You gain
Jinx from the
a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon, which deals radiant damage instead of slashy dams. When you hit an undead with it, that target takes an additional 1d8 radiant dams. I'm just reading what's on the thing.
Ah, exactly.
This sword's luminous blade, Uwu, emits bright light in a 15-inch radius. I guess foot is the thing. And dim light for an additional
Uwu.
15. This light is sunlight, and while the blade persists, you can use an action to expand or reduce its radius of bright and dim light by 5 feet each, to a maximum of 30 foot each, or a minimum of 10 foot each. The end.
Cool.
If we were to.
That sounds pretty cool.
Highlights.
Fascinating.
It's a finesse weapon.
Yeah.
It deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage. It deals bonus damage to undead, and it's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Can we maybe see what this properties of the scimitar are with the?
Short sword.
We can certainly try. Does anybody want me to take a look at the scimitar for the book?
Don't we already know what it does
I
then?
mean, it's
I mean-
straight
Wait,
as a
hold on.
punch.
Wait. When I... Oh... Yeah, okay, my detect magic would have been going for... well, we know it's magical anyways. It's screaming at us.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I
That's
just
not
want.
gonna
I guess I'm curious if we
not
can.
necessarily.
Oh, okay. Okay, if 30... if
Given
it's
the
30
nature of, I'll say, you two roll religion checks for me.
I think that there's like a curse on it.
Maybe it's a curse on him.
Maybe we should just carry it with us.
Just the
forever.
guy himself.
Religion, that's...
I'm just curious to know if it can be separated from
23.
his
23?
evil and use.
Yeah, on over 20, you would know that blades that are used over centuries, over generations, slaying countless lives, often carry the echoes of the dead. This is probably what that is. The blade itself is made of adamantine. It is an incredibly strong metal, but not something that really could be wielded except by a creature who either one has the fortitude to resist that or simply doesn't care.
That's probably not me.
Yeah.
Or not any of us, really.
So that's kind of looking at it and debating whether or not it's worth identifying based on Casimir's description, based
Yeah, I
on
could
your
say.
abilities. It's most likely that it's not magical. It is a very fine blade, but it's not one that would inherently carry a magical property.
Maybe we bring it back to town and give it to what's his face in exchange for something. What about
Here, have a screaming sword.
that guy doesn't really seem like he would care, honestly. What about
Take out a sheep.
Rahadin's armor stuff?
Standard red studded leather armor. It's in the color scheme of Strahd, the same blood
We're
red
gonna
that you've seen
stormtrooper
him wear. But otherwise, it's just standard studded
Nothing
leather.
else on him.
It's good ways to take out enemies.
Okay.
Any other questions we want? Because we technically have 2 more questions if we need.
Yeah.
Again, what is your mission? 1A. What are
Who
you
else
doing
do
in
you
the
trust
temple?
besides me?
Oh yes, good one.
That's a really.
who else do you fear? Or, I don't know.
But that also leads to
Oh,
only
of
you,
course.
Master.
What about the
Valak.
abbot?
Only you, Master.
Yeah.
Well, that means that he's not working with anyone else.
Yeah, we can also ask like who are our contacts in Valaki.
That's what I was thinking originally.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
I think if we end up with one more bonus one, I'm not sure if we're at that or not, but we could ask him about the abbot, about the abbot's creation, if he's aware of it, if he's interested in what's happening there.
Okay.
We just solve it by
Um,
duping Strahd.
You could ask him more about.
You could ask him what
The
he
Amber
thinks
Temple.
about us.
I'm gonna say we're at 5
Yeah, let's
questions
just
current.
cap
That's
it.
true.
Okay.
Technically, we're at 4.5 in case the first one answers. What I have again, just to make it clear, I have what is your mission?
That's what we get for shitting.
1A, what are you doing in the temple? 2, Irina, what's her deal? What it's about? I'm gonna say it just like that. What it's about.
Who's your daddy?
Who Irina
Beat me
be?
by 1 second.
3, or 4, I suppose, where Patrina is. 4, who do you trust in Valaki? And our bonus question is,
What do you know about the Amber Temple?
you know what? Yeah, I'm okay with that. You guys like that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm short resting in the corner.
I succeeded.
Careful. I feel like somebody's elbow is gonna end up on it.
I know my
It's
spatial
okay,
awareness.
Marisha, right?
Huh?
It's okay, Marisha, right? Just throw it
I know
out.
my spatial awareness. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, so
Cool.
propping him up against the wall.
Propping him up.
Getting
Getting to be
Strahd
Strahd now. Blah!
What's your spell save DC?
on,
skill
Count
save
Chocula.
is 19.
19? Okay,
Get
that's
it.
enough. Alright, casting Speak with Dead on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whole room explodes.
Blah.
Whoa.
Hey, Leaf, look at the me.
I'm in the other room if this blows out.
My wife. Liquid explosion.
You need a fucking tan, son.
From Ashley, Uzbekistan.
Alright.
Bit's over.
My wife.
No.
That's Strahd.
No.
Strahd wins very
Okay.
much.
Solid impression.
The eyes kind of roll a little bit and kind of disfocus a little on you, and the mouth is open and seems to have inhaled a breath.
We're playing quarter.
Rahadin, what is your mission?
You see the eyes kind of focus on you a little and squint and just. Such foolish tricks.
Oh shit!
I see you, Elf.
That clip's going on Instagram.
I grow tired of your insolence, elf. What is your mission?
You alone died his blade.
Rahadin, what were you doing in this temple? Yeah, that tracks. Okay. It's a holy man.
Alright, we've used our good thing we spent 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is great. We have 2 questions.
Fuck, we're killing
That's
this.
it?
You do have some time at this point now, knowing that he seems to have seen through the Strahd guys.
Yeah.
You've got some time to reevaluate and think of 2 other questions that you think he might actually answer.
Okay.
Just
Okay, no, that's fair.
Friendly
That's fair.
neighborhood DM.
No,
Who do you got a crush
We
on?
could try to keep asking him about Patrina, like at least, and he might not, like, see if he reveals anything, even if he probably wouldn't answer that question outright, but it's something that has to do with him.
Don't give us the secret of the Ember Temple.
Okay, let's maybe not. That one.
Or even, like, who are you praying to? Like, what was the golem supposed to be? Is there something?
I wanna get the Patrina answer if I can.
Yeah. What else did we have that we could?
Ren, you're gonna kill him.
No, you know what? I got one.
Okay.
Casimir's not in the room, right?
No.
No.
He left.
He's gone.
Cool. Casimir is dead. Where can we bury him with his sister?
Traitors belong in the crypts. Away from the rightful heirs to these lands.
Who are the rightful heirs?
My master.
Yeah, I guess that was coming up.
Yeah.
And the final breath escapes him as the head lolls to one side and kind of snaps a little bit.
Cool, I'm okay with that. Well, we got one useful thing out of that. That was fun.
Cool. So she. Oh wait, I'm not even in the room.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the same trick for Mr. Foxy Face down there? We have no idea who the fuck that is.
No, I could. Blah!
I mean,
You little fuck.
Hold up. I know what Rahadin sounds like. Someone bring me a furry.
Leaf, get over here.
Do we have the Arcanalot's body with us?
I think we brought them both upstairs, didn't we? I think somebody.
Nobody grabbed him from the center of the room, or nobody said they did. He's in
I
the,
mean,
he's in the center of
the
the
doctor
area.
said that he wanted to loot him.
Yeah,
but
I
we were
did.
like, oh, we're gonna do that in the room.
I'm gonna.
I thought it was.
I thought we were
implied.
bringing him up.
Yeah.
Okay, if
Yeah.
you said you
Sure,
brought him up,
yeah.
sure, that's fine.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna do the exact same thing, but with Rahadin now.
Yeah, perfect.
Round 2. This is so exciting.
Not with. Oh, as Rahadin, not.
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
Or just like
It's
put
me.
your hand inside Rahadin's like dead face.
Hello! It's me, that elf guy you like.
Weekend at the Amber Temple.
Someone use like thaumaturgy and like
kiss?
like animate the.
I use my spear and like poke certain appendages.
What
Oh yeah, did anyone speak to the fox? What
Jordy,
language did
if
it?
you're
What
looking
did
up-
the fox say?
If you're looking
I
it up,
didn't see
it's
that.
cast Speak with Dead at Will.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check because I've never that seems awesome. I just want to.
It's a Warlock feat.
It's
Finally.
A warlock.
It's Warlock feat,
I got to
Whispers
say
of
it.
the Grave.
What?
Or Warlock,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Prerequisite 9th level. Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did not know that was even a thing. Everybody
Very
else has been
useful.
like, make my Eldritch Blast do more things.
Yeah.
Wait, you could have done that? Fucking hell.
I mean, I could have, but
Eldritch Blast can be like 300-foot range and pushes
Yeah.
you 10 feet backwards.
And
I
get more hit
considered that
points.
one.
Sorry?
And get more hit points.
What?
No, that's not actually one of the.
Never mind, I was
invocations.
just fine.
It's okay. In the past life,
Whatever,
this is a
Jesus
warlock.
Christ.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
So I want to do that then.
can I speak with that on the Arcana?
I'm gonna pop into Rahadin.
Sure.
Then I'm gonna find Les and just go like blah, and then I'm gonna go back to the Arcana.
Holy shit!
Hey, my wife.
Fucking hell!
We'll say as you do that, you kind of go over
Green
to
Oh yeah, because Casimir's in there.
Yeah, because
Oh my god.
Casimir's in there sleeping.
Yeah, sure.
Les is in the room as well, and you kind of like poke your head around the corner to see, and you actually see that both of them are unconscious. Les having fallen asleep.
Okay, I'll just go back there and
No,
analyze
wait.
it.
Is Casimir alright?
I'm not gonna
Oh
do
yeah,
the jump
he's
scare.
resting. They're both breathing. They're both alive. They're just
Yeah.
very badly hurt. However, we're gonna take a moment here.
Oh man, I get a bit.
Les,
Oh, yo.
Oh.
as you close your eyes to
Iceman
rest and
cough.
recover over the next hour, you fall much deeper into slumber than you would have expected. Your eyes see nothing but darkness until a single point of faded blue light appears far in the distance. And as it begins to get larger, you realize that it's not moving towards you, but you're swimming towards it. You pull yourself forward, holding your spear and shield, one in each hand, closer and closer until the blue light fills your vision in all directions. But you realize the faded color is swirling around you, circling you, as if the water you're swimming in is twisting around your body. And then the swirling begins to slow, and you're able to pick out vague details within the color of silver scaled hide and neck, massive elongated forearms with sharpened claws, and the heavy beating of enormous wings propelling the vision in a circle around you.
Watershed going on.
It finally stops in place. The wing is still slowly beating, holding it in thin air as a massive silver-scaled dragon's head slips forward. The eyes blink once, then a voice fills the water around you. Bless, son of Thada, heir to the line Nadakwa. Brief nod of acknowledgement from the dragon. Long ago, your ancestors struck a bargain to instill my knowledge and power within their bloodline, for it to be passed from generation to generation, and for me to watch over those descendants, should I deem one worthy of reawakening that power. You see flashes of combat with tritons dressed in ancient sets of armor, wielding tridents and spears in one hand while weaving arcane sigils with the other, their shields discarded on the ground. Many generations have passed without a successor to this line, and that path now may lie ahead of you, should you have the strength of spirit to follow it. And staring into the eye of the dragon, you see a shifting, darkened image of yourself floating in its eye, wielding your same spear and shield. The eye draws closer, filling your sight, and the vision sharpens into a perfect reflection of yourself. And the figure moves on its own. Face forward. The spear draws back. Hold your ground. The shield slides in front. Envision your target. The reflection adopts your classic fighting stance. Awaken. What do you do?
Underwater's
It's
big.
less of a multi-class than the paladin.
You about to fight?
You
Shadow?
talk very softly for somebody so big.
Hey, mamma mia.
Fuck it, and I just get into stance.
Alright, you get
And
a
I
stance
square
roll
off.
initiative.
Oh shit!
Les, you're fighting yourself.
Oh shit.
Are you having the force tree
This
moment?
some Scott Pilgrim
Les,
shit.
can you grab your other mini for me?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Yo.
Oh, it's in here, isn't it?
Fuck.
No. You're
What the
You're
shit?
two Triton minis.
Oh,
The one, the Hero Forge one, and the regular.
Oh,
one.
oh, oh, right.
You're fighting yourself.
This is.
I mean, Aless was always fighting himself.
I am so excited to see where this goes.
Me
So,
too.
we'll have you two on that 4x4 raised platform there, just on opposite corners. So, roll
So,
initiative for me.
white less is current less, and
Yeah.
other less is dream less.
Other
Does
less
he
is-
have all of
so
his-
it's
Lego
it's,
less.
it's light less and dark less.
Like Final Fantasy IV.
Exactly.
Shadow less. Or is it, what is it, Nego less?
That's an unnatural 20.
A natural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
Didn't expect this.
So,
But I'm here for it.
Get out of there, Baby Yoda.
Leaves in the corners.
Alright. So 20 for you.
Yep.
Okay. So holding your spear and shield, mirroring the movements, it matches you almost exactly in your stance. What are you doing?
Do I have all
Sorry,
my
cut you off.
maneuvers and everything?
You have everything that you're used to having. What are you doing? You feel your regular strength within your arms.
Fuck.
None of the fatigue that has befallen you over the last little while.
Think of us as we were a wet dream again. I'm sorry.
I'm popping around the corner as Rahat going, oh, he's a
No, I
by
just,
goal
I
away
dot,
from
I
now.
dot, I like just go forward for fainting attack
Okay.
and a trip attack.
Go for it. So move your character up into combat. Yep. And go ahead and make your attack. At advantage.
That is 24.
Okay, roll damage.
That is a 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Okay, good to know. Okay, so you kind of go through and expecting the same thing that you're used to, the shield block coming in front, you parry underneath the shield and begin to throw it to the side, and as the arm opens up and the chest is exposed, and you stab straight into the chest, and it seems to pass through the figure. And you pull your spear back and just kind of stare at a hole in the chest that like slowly begins to form over itself, appearing unwounded. What are you doing again as your second attack?
I'll follow through with the trip because that's
Yeah.
what I said.
So, trip attack, so you try and follow through on that one.
As I go for the stab and nothing happens, I'm just like, I have these attacks kind of in succession of what I'm going to do before I do it, and I just go spin to try to knock it down.
Yeah.
Nat 1.
Natural one. The first one just completely throwing you off your gate. You instinctively duck low, and then the shield comes down and just clangs against the ground that you didn't even realize was there. Kind of this invisible surface that you now find yourself standing on as your spear impacts against the shield, this time catching purchase on something, even though there was nothing that it impacted against.
Okay.
The figure begins to move, taking a step around you. It's going to circle around to the backside of you, just kind of essentially watching you a little bit, and then it's going to go ahead and make 2 strikes at you with its spear. What's your bonus to attack rolls? Plus 8?
Yes.
So that's a 22.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 8 points of not just keep track of your full hit points,
Yeah.
because you're going to be at full.
Okay.
Take it over.
So you take 8 points. What are your full hit points?
74.
74.
Man, it's just
Okay.
fucking boss.
Second attack comes in as you kind of feel the impact, and you
Hey,
not
it's
having
my
any
body
impact
now.
on this figure, whatever it is, kind of expecting the same thing a little, and you put your shield up, but it goes right past it and pierces through your left shoulder. Second attack is a 19 to hit.
Yeah. It's.
All right. Second one is 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And you're reeling a little bit, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, why this figure is able to deal damage to you, but you can barely deal anything to it. And then you just hear in the back of your mind, awaken. It's your turn again. What are you doing?
Turn around. Obviously, stabbed him is just a mystical form of some kind. I don't know. What do you mean? Awaken? Nothing? I'm kind of stumped.
Are you using your action to speak with it, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember your ancestors. Remember what you saw.
Thomas It's Mike Trout. At long last.
I dropped the spear.
Okay.
I dropped the shield.
Mhm.
Put my hand out.
Okay.
And if I think I know what you're connecting to, think about that day and just put all of that emotion and energy into something.
Okay. Go and make a charisma check for me.
Just this plus charisma?
Yep, just plus charisma.
13.
13. You remember the vision, not of yourself, but of what was shown to you before this fight, for stepping into the eye of the dragon, of your ancestors discarding their shields, but retaining their weapons, and with their offhand, casting those sigils. You kind of just slowly begin to weave and just allow your mind to open slightly as your hand starts turning over, and all of a sudden some ice crystals begin to form on the tips of your fingers, and you instinctively, having dropped your own spear, just reach both hands up and just grab the figure by the sides of its chest, and the figure shatters in front of you. Bursting in a blinding light, you quickly close your eyes, then reopen to find yourself back in front of the dragon's eyes. The reflection vanished from sight, just staring deep into the pupil. Interesting. A tad faster than the last one. My curiosity is piqued. This will suffice for now. The dragon blinks and a sudden rush of memories flood out from within your mind, almost struggling to keep up with the sheer amount. You eventually focus in at the source of the knowledge, where you find a single word. A name, Ostilian. It means nothing to you, but...
What was that again?
Ostilian.
Ostilian?
O-S-T. H-I-L-L-I-A-N. Ostilian.
Okay.
Perhaps we shall meet again. You blink once more into darkness before your vision returns, and you look around the room at Casimir on your left and the doctor kind of stepping around the corner in front of you. You instinctively flex your hands to wake up from the sleep you're in, and a thin layer of ice shatters around your fingertips. And you kind of begin to just trace your fingers across the ground. And you seem to know things that you didn't know 20, 30 minutes ago when you first fell asleep, having unlocked your first level in sorcery.
Oh!
Hold on.
Yes.
It's a charisma check.
Yep. And
Multi-class.
Fuck, I wrote it tonight.
I'm waiting for this one to be up.
Yeah!
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you had it ready?
Oh, fuck.
I planned this a long time ago.
Hero Forge Sale basically was like, I'm getting 2 minis to distract everyone. One the old less one and one the new sorcerer less. So you essentially, knowing what you know, the spells that you cast, almost all of them do require an offhand. So the choice becomes yours of shield for defense or weapon for offense. And given the fighter background, nature of the Tritons, a shield can be created, a weapon cannot.
Fuck yeah.
So, Doctor, you now step around the corner as Rahatan.
Yeah, like,
Jesus! And you instinctively just
Holy shit!
and you see that Les's hand just is frozen over slightly as like a jet of ice starts to form until he realizes that it's you, and you kind of instinctively are like, that's my thing.
no, I'm just gonna be like, hey, good work, buddy. I'm gonna go. I got stuff to do.
So there we go. So that one has now transpired. Les unlocking his first level in sorcerer.
You rascal.
Wow.
So are you just sitting on like nothing then?
I'm like early on, I just kind of planted seeds. I'm like, this is where I want to go eventually, but I didn't know when it was going to happen or how it was going to
That
happen.
was cool. That was really cool.
You give me a little bit, I write a page and a half.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Holy shit.
Alright, so
I will not deny. Has anyone here seen Bleach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know of it.
That's the fight with where Ichigo unlocks his sword by learning its name.
Nice.
It's just like, I'm gonna take some
nice.
shit in that because you don't know anything about your ancestors. Boom.
Yeah, no, that was all. I didn't know any of that shit.
now
That
I
was
know. I
amazing.
got a lot of respect.
So you kind of piece it together that Ostilian is most likely the name of the dragon that the deal was made with.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Don't worry.
Sorcerer.
Doctor, we come back to you
Cool.
now as we're
Yeah.
making your way to the creature that you have no idea what this is. But
you high.
I'm gonna like double.
Yeah, I'm just
double
giving it a
carry
try.
it.
Why not?
All right.
Yeah.
Cast and speak with Ted.
Yeah.
All right. What are your questions? Says the fox head kind of rolls over and the tongue lolls out a little bit far, but
That's fine. That'll
it does seem to be able to speak normally.
happen. Big old tongue on him.
Yeah.
Good to see you. What were we talking about again?
What's your spell save DC
19.
again? 19.
This is gonna be juiced. It's a fucking meat.
Yeah, he's like a what was it, 18th level or something?
16th.
I guess we'll find it.
See?
No, he sees the
Good thing
bit.
there was 6 of us.
Just shut the fuck
And he just kind of like looks at you and just. You see like a little bit of recognition of Rahadin, and then just kind of like a few of the details are slightly wrong, and he just kind of begins to question a little bit.
actually, Dusk
I rolled really high for both of them,
Jesus
and I
Christ.
got +9 and +13 bonuses.
Oh boy.
So tough ones to fuck with.
Wow. Does he speak common? Do we know?
You have no idea.
Okay. What else remains in the temple?
The mouth doesn't move, but in your mind and in your ears, you hear the response telepathically to you. Death and treasure.
Oh, cool. We got a golem kind of guy here. Who runs the temple? Does anybody run the temple?
That's Master's long destroyed.
Does Strahd come here?
Yeah. He dispatches those of his to come in his place. It has been some time since he saw these amber walls.
Okay.
Do not let
Cool
that
vocal tick.
Yeah, I don't want this
We
guy.
got one more question, guys. What do we think?
Nothing about the Amber Temple?
What's in the sarcophagi?
For the little baby boy.
Not the not the black one, but not the baby boy, but the amber
yeah,
ones.
fuck, we did see those.
Each is a gift.
Yeah, that's not good.
And the voice vanishes again as the mouth closes
What
and the eyes roll
gift?
aside.
Guys, there's more gifts.
So good.
Death
It's
and
so
treasure.
bad.
I felt that one. That was weird.
Yeah, it was like skin crawly.
I liked it. Cool. I have what I need from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I'm gonna just go back to me, and then I'm going to take 10 minutes because I don't need a short rest. Actually, I will need a short rest to get my spells back. Never
Yeah, I
mind.
was gonna say.
Yeah, you want
You are a
short
I was gonna
spellcaster,
say,
sir.
This is something where, like, realistically, with everything that's transpiring, like, you pushing everything would be about an hour and a half rest, but there doesn't seem to be much of an issue. Nobody seems to be bothering you up
Okay,
here.
that's fine.
You're able to take a decent amount of time.
Okay.
Everybody rest up, hit dice, regain any abilities, spell slots, whatever.
Do I have time to cast Find Familiar? Bring her back.
You would be able to do that after the short rest and end it.
Yeah, that's great.
Everybody's just kind of like waiting around, and you're just like 10 more minutes, and just do your thing.
Boys, 2 more minutes.
Yeah, so
Cool. I just want him back for scout.
and he just kind of pops into existence in a nice little.
Yeah, there he is. There's our guy.
That wasn't fun. I don't want to do that again. Can you?
Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry.
Not doing that again. Not doing it.
Don't you worry, pal.
No more fingers. No more death. No more fingers of death.
Gonna do our best not to have any more death
That
fingers.
was we got.
Yeah, you got hit by finger of death.
Oh,
It's
So,
silent, no components
so
required.
can we
basically
turn
just
to Casimir and say like,
78 plus 30 necrotic damage.
Yeah, that's,
78 plus 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was what the Arcanoloth tried to cast to kill less, and got counterspelled by Casimir.
like out of character? Finger Dust's the one where they like die and come back
As a zombie,
oh,
at the start
that's
of their next turn,
fucking rude,
if they're not
dude.
revived.
I've dodged that
twice.
Twice.
so yeah.
You were reduced by Babali Saga, but
Yeah.
not killed.
No.
And he would have killed you. The 30 alone was enough to drop you.
Yeah.
But he got counterspelled because you were directly below the statue. He had to lean out and become visible, which allowed Casimir to counterspell it.
Hey,
I was so pissed when that happened. I wanted him to just be able to be like, as Les's like body inside. But because you passed out and you fell off the statue, it saved your life.
I like that the dragon's into like what you're doing. You've got the most like it's unorthodox, but it works.
So you guys at this point have done a decent amount with the bodies, figured out as best you can.
Yeah.
The blade, is a very nice, fine blade, but wielding it is kind of a dark omen on whoever seems to sheath it.
Yeah, I don't think,
We should probably leave this here.
unless we have some way of cleansing it, like, could we mystically cleanse it in
Leaf,
some way?
is there anything you can do to... You
I
can
could-
mend things, but is there something that you can do at a...
Yeah, I could maybe dispel if there's any sort of magic on it, but
You said it wasn't a magic.
yeah, it's just kind of cursed. I can remove curses. That's actually I can also do. I'm a little tapped today. We could grab it and I can do that another
Let's
day.
take it
if
with
you
us and we can try it. I mean, I think it's worth trying to keep on. Adamantine is a very strong weapon. Good to have in a pinch, but not willing to carry something around with a stain of other dust scales on it.
We'll say also as well, because of how much time the doctor took extra for doing everything else, there was time for somebody to attune to the sun sword if a person did want to do so.
Oh yeah, somebody should probably do that.
No.
It's pretty cool.
Who are we doing that? Who?
Okay.
There's, I
well,
think, two people that can wield it. It's you and me.
We got sneak attack dammies and we got smite dammies.
Smite.
Technically, I could, but it would blind me while I used it.
Right.
You would be just
My
attacking
right.
with a disadvantage.
That's why I was not including you in. Wait,
Yeah.
unless Les, are you able to potentially wield this as well? Is
Oh, I think it would blind me too, I think. No?
I don't think
I
he's got-
specifically
You do
can't
not have
be in
dark vision,
sunlight.
though.
I'm a drow.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right.
That's the problem. I mean, I think everyone should make up their own minds, but honestly, Allura, you should maybe have it. If you can attack from behind at some point when we're with Strahd, and Hope's got a very powerful weapon in the
I do.
dragon sword that no one else
That's
can
true,
really
yeah.
use because it's so
Actually,
heavy.
right.
That's a fair point.
That is very fair.
We can always trade up if it seems like it's not working for you to wield it, but
Okay.
it's light enough for you to use.
Does it, DM, is it an action to, like, if you use a weapon, can you, like, pass it in battle to somebody?
It's
You have to
kind
be
of,
attuned.
it's a little weird.
Also, yeah,
it's a
this is an
free
attuned
action to
one.
drop an item or to toss an item, but that person ends up using a free action or bonus action on their turn to grab it and equip it.
Right.
So it's not like I'm going to pass this thing to you on my turn.
Yeah.
It's I need to basically drop it and allow you to pick it up.
Okay.
The only thing, maybe you might not be able to be very sneaky when you use it.
That's true.
Because it's a bonus action to turn it on and off. It's kind of
So you could.
You lose your ability to bonus action fire a shot, but it means
Right.
that you can be invisible basically with no
Yeah.
sword, no sound.
And then
It's
go,
just a tilt, and then
yeah,
Right.
that would
Right.
be fucking dope.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, but if with your smite, does that?
the other difference, just again, friendly neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
DM, smite deals radiant damage by itself.
Yeah.
This replaces
This
your
is-
regular damage with radiant damage.
Yeah.
However, you're also dealing regular dams on top.
The
So-
other downside as well is the base damage of this weapon is 1d8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Hope's case, having great weapon fighting, re-rolling 1s and 2s on d6s
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
also makes a little bit more sense because you end up dealing more damage because you're
Yeah.
rolling 2 dice instead of 1. So even if you roll a 2 on this and you max it out at an 8, if you roll a 2 and a 4,
Yeah.
odds of probability are
I
you're going to
think
do better with your own.
It was something that I'd hoped for, but I don't think it actually works
Right.
for
Yeah.
what I currently have.
I think
Right.
Allura's a fine choice
So
for it.
in this case, you're still able to keep a weapon that is extremely beneficial to you. No one else can use this. I can use this, and
I
Elif
can't.
can use my.
Oh, I could use the rapier. Sure.
Yeah, it's a light finesse weapon.
If you
Oh, no,
don't
it's
mind
not
giving
light,
it up,
it's a
though, I
finesse
don't.
But
want
you also
to.
have the black sword.
Potentially.
We ain't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Right,
not
well,
magical.
We
So
can figure this out. You guys want to
Yeah.
figure this one?
we can do it off screen, but the
Yeah.
issue
Yeah.
is in fights I have to cast spells to do damage against things that are resistant against non-magical.
Yeah.
And you have
Yeah.
magic weapons.
So yeah, if you get
Yeah,
that
and that's
trade,
kind of
makes
what
sense.
you've struggled with as well, with
Yeah.
not being able to have magical damage, whereas this would provide you with that.
Provide everyone with everything we need.
Okay. Whereas I have magical damage and can add further magical damage.
Right.
Right.
And that way, both of us have a magical weapon.
This essentially eliminates Elite's biggest drawback.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Which is-
have
Now you're more
spells.
OP.
I have spells now that can cut
you have
some
to- Unattuned to something?
No, I am able to. I've
think
only
you're
got
attuned to
2
anything.
things that I'm attuned to. But Alith has
yeah, I
3.
might have to figure it out.
Can I?
I
Sorry.
No, I'm not attuned to my cloak. So it's just the lookstone and the longbow that I'm attuned to currently.
So this would make 3.
So that would be 3.
Cool.
There we go.
Bada bing, bada booey.
So Frost
You're not
Yeah.
attuned. It's not attuned.
The cloak's not
Cloak's not-
attunement.
cloak is not
Nice.
attuned.
Okay.
Pass.
Also, sorry
So
for
we trade it
interrupting you.
That's all right.
Cool.
I don't know
Let's
what I was
let's keep moving.
So the Frost right here passes Elite.
Yeah.
saying. Sure. Thanks,
So
Allura.
it goes to
Appreciate
Laura.
it.
Hey,
Updating
Casimir.
some character sheets.
Nice. Casimir. So, what are we looking for in here now?
Thank you.
Well, the original place that I had come here, the reason that I came was to find a way to revive my sister. Essentially, we are looking for this. I do not know where to start. I just know that within these walls exists some kind of a resurrection ability.
In speaking to the Arcanoloth and Rahadin, the Arcanoloth mentioned that there were sarcophagi with gifts. We saw some of these, I guess, downstairs is where.
Yeah. When we first came in to the right, there was like a hole in the floor that Rick went down to check.
Yeah.
And there was the 4 sarcophagi, and there was
There was
green emanating or something.
No, flame skulls.
Yeah,
There was flame
Yeah,
skulls.
there were 3 flame skulls, one over each of the 3 sarcophagi.
Were those the ones that came
Okay.
up and fought?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
The ones that fought you were the
Right,
ones that were
okay.
trapped in that hallway.
So, using spatial awareness, say, would this level of the Amber Temple, the base floor here that we were fighting on, be about on level with where the sarcophagi were?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna relay that to the party, and say if we want to find these things, we should probably head back down and maybe check out that crack that old Mr. Punchy came out of.
I think so. I mean,
There was another set of doors, was there not? Like on the in the room. There
here.
were 2 sets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the other set of
Right,
doors
wait,
were the ones
so
that you had
we
looked
looked in.
that were already broken and it looked like it was a very similar treasure room, but having been destroyed.
But
Okay.
down this pathway, we haven't been.
We haven't gone
there.
down that path. I suggest we do that.
Mm-hmm.
Should we sneak through down there?
I think so.
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to voice my, I don't know how I feel about Grave Robin, but, it's what you want, Casimir. Power to you, I guess.
Customer, what else did you think you'd find here? I know you mentioned you wanted to come here in your quest to set your sister at rest. Did you know that Rahadin was going to be here? Do you know what he said when he mentioned he was praying and we saw him? Is there a deity here that he's aligned to?
I do not know. Everything about the last several hundred years has been trying to remove that man from the land. I could not tell you at a glance what would have brought him here.
All right. Well, what is it that you're looking to find here, then? Truly, I
I'm
don't just
looking
mean.
to find a way to resurrect my sister.
So you're looking for any artifact that has power over the dead.
Artifacts, ability, anything that can bring her back.
All right. Well, are we all agreed that Casimir can look over the spell scrolls that this
Yeah, I
false
don't
face
mind.
was
So it's
carrying?
all
You can take a
Yeah.
look at the.
So he looks at them and kind of like flips through and definitely identifies a few that he can use. He doesn't have the inks or anything to copy them over at this point, but there are quite a few that he would be able to transcribe into his wizard spellbook.
Yeah, need a pen there, buddy?
He needs very specific inks and paper, like high quality stuff, to be able to do it.
Well, I'm gonna leave the spell book with him for now, but I think we should head back down here and see if we can
I
find the
agree.
sarcophagi.
I'm feeling okay at the moment. I'm not super powered for spells, but I can lead the way.
I'm feeling pretty good. I got my spells back.
I'm tapped, so
I've got
just gonna try and take
a
it
wee
easy.
bit.
I'm gonna wake up and kind of be a little disoriented.
Okay, did anyone
And
else
a bit
notice
quiet.
anything different with Les?
Not really.
All right.
He seems to be.
I saw the ice on his
His
hands, and I
usual
was
self.
like, yeah, good work, pal.
Icing himself.
You do notice. I would say the one thing that would be a little bit different is you notice that most of the time his shield is in one hand and his spear is in the other. Now his shield is on his back and his spear is in the
Or
other.
like my
That's
Skyrim
what the other
Like a
major
ninja
difference.
turtle.
Spiky back.
Fusroda.
So we're getting the mod where you do a 180 and you cast on your ass.
While we're passing through the treasure room again,
Yep.
I want to grab that Lolth symbol that I found and hand it to a leaf.
Okay. So you've got it's essentially a spider cracked in half, like imagine a broken heart, 4 legs on each side.
Is the necklace itself broken, or is it part of the
It's
design?
two pendants on a single necklace, each of them with half a spider.
I thought this might be of use to you.
Wonderful.
I have complicated feelings about. My mother. She was considered something of outside strict religious
Those
tenets.
note taken.
Strict religious tenets. It's part of why she was killed. There's conspiracy to take down her religious order. I've never really felt comfortable with Lolth's. She's a jealous and wrathful god. But I appreciate that you gave this to me thinking it would mean something to my culture, and it does. I just have complicated feelings about it.
We can throw it in the pile again.
No.
It's just okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it. And I don't put it on, but I tuck it into a pouch. Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't where we were all just getting necklaces of angst today.
Casimir, let's talk more about your dead sister.
It's the Dusk Elf
I'm
episode.
gonna find a Bahamut one and hand it to Hope and just wait.
Oh my god.
Hey
No,
Les,
no.
do you want a shiny necklace? Will it make you sad?
Leaf picks up a mushroom. I don't know what was asking for this. But something happened to me today. Shall we continue? Shall we
Yeah.
scoot through the
Please.
3-foot?
I don't mind leaving point, and I'm just Are we?
I can take seconds.
Yeah. What kind of light do we have right now?
It's up to you guys. There's no light in the chambers at all, as you normally are, so it's up to you what you wanted to have.
If
I
we
have
can go in the darkness, I can
achievement,
try and
Yeah.
lead us along and get the extra element of surprise.
Can I
And
walk
with
in front of
that-
them and just like turn the light, the sort of sunlight
And
on?
you're just like, oh fuck!
And all of a sudden-
Ah!
so the only thing here,
Oh,
You did that thing
I
down.
turned it off. I'm like, oh shit, sorry, Hilly.
you turn it off, but then you go like, wait, I can make it smaller, and then you just kind of.
Yes.
What the
It creates
fuck?
is a 10-foot bright
Oh, yeah, it's a
and 10
lightsaber.
foot dim.
You
Beyond
know,
that. So
like
essentially
the
allows.
Oculus
It's got a dimmer
Little
switch.
candle.
Yeah.
The
So
dimmer
it's,
switch.
Slap on,
it's essentially a
slap
dimmer
on.
switch. Yeah. 10. So you increase it in 5-foot increments.
This is
10
fucking
all the
cool.
way up to 30, or back down, and it's bright light and an additional of dim light.
This is
10, 10, and 10,
Oh.
15, 15, 20.
It's like,
20.
how big do you want your lightsaber? How big does it need to be?
How big does that energy need to be?
Yo, we've got everything.
My big light
Ready?
energy.
Yeah.
Dang, this is it. This is everything we need.
That big lightsaber energy, though.
Oh yeah, that too.
So
Zoom, zoom.
lifting the sword up, allowing the light source to be there, preventing the need for any spells to be cast. You begin to make your way forward.
Yeah.
Are you leading the party?
Sure.
It's up to you. Like whoever wants to be first.
Who was wanting to?
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna go first, but that's if we were gonna be in the darkness because I couldn't be invisible.
Right.
That's all right. You go
We're
ahead. and
all,
I'll
we're all
follow
kind
up.
of following.
So I'll
into
go
the-
behind
So
Allura.
you two are blind.
Yeah, so I'm behind.
you have to follow the light source.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're behind you.
So did you want to go on ahead by yourself?
We've cast
Um,
light.
Ahead of the light to
No. Even Aleth isn't so stupid for that right now.
Anymore.
I'll just okay.
So
Listen.
we're like this.
If there's not a good reason to go on my own, then I'm not gonna do it.
So does that
but I'll
mean-
just go right behind Allura.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna be second.
I can be second.
Cool. Do you want to be second? Because you're going
It
to be at
doesn't-
disadvantage.
No, I'm not because it's
No.
dim light.
Oh,
She's gonna
okay.
dim it.
Cool, cool,
It's
cool.
not gonna be bright light. I mean, I don't care.
Are we
I'll
a
go
single
wherever.
file?
If you'd rather
Yeah.
stay second.
Yeah, we have to be
Let's
with
go.
the
So who's
Okay,
third?
well, I'll take last place then, considering that I've got dark vision and I'll be furthest.
Yeah, I need to be close to the light, and so does.
I can also stand in the middle if
I
that
can
makes
also-
things easier.
I can also
don't
cast
have to be at the
light
front.
on I can cast light on myself as well. We'll be
Is
fine.
that a spell thought though?
No, it's cantrip.
Okay.
We'll be fine. There we go.
So, looking at the crack, you see the rock is split to create a very narrow path, roughly 3 feet across, between this room and another unlit one, about 15 feet ahead.
What, can we see anything in the unlit room?
In the unlit room, you can see there appear to be a couple of large wooden boxes. That's about it.
Okay.
I see some boxes. I don't see any threats as of yet.
Did we open up the little baby
Oh.
cast?
I ain't fucking open them.
Yeah, we're not opening that.
Okay.
Not
Can I
We'll just smash
We'll
on the
like
way
open
out.
that on the way out as like everyone's like at the door.
can I get
Pretend.
Rick to pop ahead just a little bit invisible to see if he can see anything?
Sure. So Rick flies into the room. A golden marble staircase with a black marble railing hugs the north wall as it spirals gently up a 30-foot wide expanse.
Mamma mia.
Lying in the middle of the room are 5 rotting wooden crates. The amber-covered walls are sculpted to look like tentacles that entwine around marble reliefs of kings, queens, pharaohs, and sultans, attended by myriad of slaves. The west, south, and east walls, so your left, your right, and kind of up against the wall from the crack comes from, all contain alcoves, and standing in each is a tall, rough block of amber. So,
Okay.
at this
that
point,
a
we can
bunch of
essentially, it's a bit of a
these
weird
guys?
thing.
We
but
need a Rick mini.
We have a Rick
Yeah,
mini
he's around here
somewhere. He's
I've also
hiding.
got
He's invisible.
this one here. if you
Yeah.
want to see this, like an actual imp mini. So this is kind of where things get a little awkward.
These guys
because
must
I'm
serve
taking this
forward.
apart, unfortunately.
Do you want? We
Surfboard
can
bucket
do a.
hat.
I can
We
get
can
this
do
out
it.
of the way.
Yeah, let's just
Hawaiian shirt.
because at this
flapping
point,
in the
like most of
breeze.
this is cleaned off. So slide those guys down. I'll quickly break this and then rebuild it.
That's
It's like a
cool.
little mini base, Jordy.
Sorry?
Thanks for the updated mini base.
Yeah, no worries. Happy to. It's nice to be able to just do
Does it
stuff like
have
that.
something on
Right?
the bottom?
Yeah. Oh, not on the bottom.
Man.
Yeah, because mine still has a smiley face on the bottom.
So, making your way through here, you can grab that one, the black one there, and just attach it onto here, and that's kind of the.
Oh, there you are.
It was just one of those weird things where it was like, oh, this
You're
is
a
an
level
option.
1 sorcerer. So yeah, that'd be great for me.
It said no base. Like I don't know. I think I was like looking at the picture and like
And
wanting
you
a
were just like,
picture,
yeah.
and then when he was like,
See,
we're gonna
that's
order,
thinking
and I
of
was
a
like,
lot of
well, let's order
questions.
When a
together. So
young Triton
get the free
Yeah, so
shipping.
you
He's like, I want to do it
have
now. And I was like,
to
It's a certain
and
age.
just did
Yeah.
it fast.
Sometimes they find that they start to pay
Yeah,
attention
whereas
to
I
things that they didn't
took
notice
way
before.
too long.
I've
over this.
redesigned a leaf at least
Their
3
skins
times
are a little
now.
scalier.
Yeah, and it was
Maybe
also
the
just
glint
like
off
I
of a fish makes them
I
tingle.
made it, and then it like the
The outie
website
becomes
I
an
didn't
indie.
buy it,
That's
and
right.
the website
Or
didn't save it,
vice
so then
versa.
I
Oh,
ended
no.
up making. So
That
it was like
sucks.
literally clicking through.
I
Every
guess what I'm
option.
saying is I know very little about Triton physiology, but it sounds like you're going through puberty.
Simplify this
He-
It looks like the movie Aliens,
Yeah, that tracks.
but down below.
Oh boy.
Whoa. That's,
I'm,
all I heard was it looks like the movie Aliens, but down below.
Yeah, we were having the talk
Okay.
about magic.
So I am considering because with this weapon, you guys.
Yes.
My little is like pretty useless.
Yeah.
So
Well, you choose if you want.
I mean, hang on to it for now because you never know how that
right.
sort of move on the party is
Well, and
going.
I've got. I mean, my feet is like based on me being able to use that. So my quest, I should have taken like 2 attacks or something like that. You can get like a double attack. But I'm wondering, with first level fighter, can you do 2 attacks with first level fighter?
I think it's 3rd level.
It's 3rd level.
Yeah. I think it's 2nd level, maybe? Let me see.
I know, I think it's 3rd.
Which is for Ranger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3rd level is when you pick.
Yeah.
Is when. Wait, sorry. Extra attack.
Yeah.
Extra attack is 5th level.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fifth.
it's a substantial thing. It's the reason
yeah,
why
yeah,
like
yeah, fair enough.
you know paladin into 5th level is crazy because like you get a lot of stuff at really early levels and then at 5th level you get bonuses.
Yeah.
Even more.
So there's nothing I can do to
Yeah,
be able
5th
to
level you
attack
attack
twice with the sword.
You might be able to find things that could help you attack twice. Certain magical enhancements. And
Actually,
whatnot.
There are things that exist. It is D&D.
Right, but that's something that
I-
have no control over.
Well, I
whether
mean,
or not I
sorcerers
get.
at a
once
certain-
you have the sword activated, can can you not use your crossbow in your other hand on that turn?
Right, but what I'm saying is, yes, I can, but like the hand cross is like 1d6 plus 4. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I have the ability to attack twice with the blade, as opposed to once with the blade, once with the crossbow's not magical damage at all.
The major thing, really, just from my perspective as well, is you only get sneak attack once a turn.
Right.
So it's kind of a trade-off, right? Where even attacking with the blade a second time, yes, it's good, but sneak attack is your really big thing. So you're still getting a massive bonus of the fact that sneak attack is now radiant damage.
I mean, things change. It's what works for you right now, but I think this sword's pretty important here. So
Yeah.
So you can kind of imagine this is going to be where the staircase going up is.
Nice.
All right.
And the room itself is about that
Flushes
large.
the belly.
You see, in your case here, one of the sarcophagi is here, one of them is here.
Wait, these are sarcophagi? I thought they were
Sorry,
wooden
amber blocks.
crates.
Amber blocks.
Oh, amber blocks.
These ones are the amber blocks.
Okay.
I don't know if that was an accidental slip or...
No, that was. The previous ones were sarcophagi. They were clearly
Okay.
set
Right.
like that. These
Okay.
ones are just giant amber blocks.
Okay.
Is that a DM correcting himself? Or...
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Do you want these?
Yeah.
That is the DM telling you that he is correcting himself. So,
Wait, what's the correction? I'm sorry, I missed
They're not
something.
sarcophagi.
they're not sarcophagi.
They're
They're just
amber
giant
blocks.
amber worms.
Okay.
So those are the bigger ones.
This terrain changeover brought
Let's
to
use
you
something a little bit bigger for these.
Amber
Bye.
blocks.
So
Amber
that's an amber
blocks.
block.
I have to admit, I'm stunned.
That's an amber block.
I know, me too.
And
Nothing.
we'll say that's an amber block as well. And then the crates are kind of in the middle of the room.
How big are the crates?
4.5, 5 feet.
Okay, so not like huge.
Maybe Rick could look in them.
I'm not sending Rick to do that. He can't lift them. He's little.
How much can he lift? 5 pounds?
He's not a very.
He's not that little.
He's
No,
not, he's not-
no. How much can he lift?
You could lift the lid off.
He can carry.
He can carry a bag.
He can carry the bag of holding, which we've never used this bit before, but
But we might.
climb in there, fly him over.
First we shake it out, everything falls out. It's like when I empty my purse, and then
Oh my god! Please, can we get like Rick Mary Poppins? The bag
my
like
God.
flies in, pulls
What a
things out.
fucking
oh dear.
Mr. Walker
So with
shoes
Rick
is
inside the
going
room.
Yeah.
Wow, what do you
Mary
do?
Poppins is a bard.
I'm sorry, say that again, Jordan.
So with Rick inside the room, what do you
Yeah.
do?
Oh my god, she is.
She's a bard.
You're right.
It's about to be like, she's a wizard. I'm like,
I'm
no,
going to-
she's a bard.
Reiterate what's going on to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Let them know about the sarcophagi and the amber blocks.
Yep.
And the staircase.
Box.
No,
It's
sir,
the
no.
amber block is the amber blocks
Yeah.
and 5 wooden crates. No
Crates.
sarcophagi.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah.
So there's some crates in there. There's some amber blocks, and there's a big old staircase going up, which I think we may wish to take.
And there's
Yeah.
something that looks vaguely tentacle-like.
Well, there's
Is it this
tentacle
way?
motifs on the walls.
Yeah. So within the amber on the walls, looks like behind that is paintings of tentacle-like entities. Yeah. The amber-covered walls are sculpted to look like tentacles that entwine around marble reliefs of kings, queens, pharaohs, and sultans, attended by myriad of slaves.
So what I might suggest here, this sounds kind of like it might be a room that was still under construction, maybe. If there's amber blocks here, like unhewn, like these are just basic blocks of amber, right, Brody?
Big ones, but yeah.
Yeah, like
They look like they're placed with purpose, though.
Oh, okay.
Like they're in exact opposite sides, one directly across from the staircase. They don't appear
Yeah,
to be there
I
at
think-
random.
Could they become golems?
I don't think that. I think it would be more apparent, but I think the fact that it's like decorated with kings, queens, sultans, and pharaohs with slaves clearly points to this being a resting place for a powerful.
Well, there's sarcophagus here. It's
There's
Yeah.
not. There's not. There's not.
let's
That
just
was- There's just crates and.
no, but there are sarcophagi in the temple.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, but not in this room.
No, let's. I say we pass through it and go up that staircase.
sure.
Yeah, it was either that or I don't know, some kind of space for like. I'm trying to think of what I remember about Egyptian.
Do we not want to look in the crates?
Do they look like regular crates?
They appear to be sealed on all sides.
Could
There's not
you
like a
detect
lid
magic?
on any of them.
I already. Oh, I get it back on a short rest.
There you
so
go.
I can actually detect magic again.
You need to be inside the
Do
room if you
we-
want.
Yeah, let's go in the room.
We're going in the room.
Are we gonna check
Do we
before
want-
we even step into the room? To make
Could
sure
we
there's no
sneak
traps on
into the
floor?
room?
Sure.
I'll check.
to make sure that
Yeah, everybody's sneaking into the room.
no
The
sounds
middle
good.
Liza.
stealth checks for me, please.
Can we check for traps at the room's entrance before we step in as well, please? God damn it.
You're the stealthy one.
22.
22.
13.
13.
15.
15.
Well, okay, I'm gonna guess it's not gonna be lower than a 7, but let me check just to see if I roll one.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh.
I rolled. It's a 50, yeah.
So 7.
4.
4.
14.
14. Casimir rolled 17. So we're just kind of making their way into the room as best they can.
Checking for traps at the...
Yeah.
Looking for traps on the floor, feeling for any pressure plates. Nothing appears to be triggering.
Okay.
What's the order? Was it?
Start to make your way in. Crates are in front of you. The amber blocks are in each of the each side of the wall. And then the staircase in front.
Cool. I'm happy to keep moving past the crates. I think there might be bigger, cooler things along the way, but if anyone wants to open them, I'm not going to stop you.
I mean, so I think that we should save Leaf's detect magic
Until we really need
until
to.
we need it.
Or if we don't need it, we can use it
on
here
the way back.
out.
Yeah, that was my exact thought.
I'm waiting for that
Divine
as
sense.
you.
I need to see the creature, or to.
Yes, you need to see to be able to know what it is.
Yeah. So it wouldn't work.
It essentially, like, if you look at something, you're like, I think that's undead. Whoop. Yep, it's undead.
Whoop.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay. Shall we continue on?
Let's keep going.
Suits me.
Sure.
As we walk around, I kind of want to like sidle up to Hope.
I'm at the back, so you're.
Oh,
kind of
that's
coming.
true. All right, never mind. Doesn't work.
Are you
Where are
sure?
you?
Well, I could like kind of like sidle
Where
back a little bit.
Are
You could just
okay.
hang back.
Could hang back a little bit as we're walking down, kind of like shuffle to the
I
back.
think it's Les's other one that he wants used right now.
No, this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The new one.
Just kind of settle up next to
Was
Hope and
3.0.
make small talk and be like, "Oh, quite a hit you took earlier, huh? That was pretty crazy."
Yes.
So anyway, you know a lot about dragons, right?
Least subtle
Fantastic.
person.
What a segue.
Fantastic. That's what I'm here for.
Have you, just, by chance, just completely taken a random name out of the air here? Have you ever heard of a dragon called Ostilian?
No, have I? Let's.
Yeah, roll a history check.
History.
The giving face.
That I didn't know your face could stretch.
It's all of Jared. Jared does a lot of the work.
Sorry, it's on the fold. So that's a 10.
10. Sounds like a dragon's name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
sure.
wouldn't be a religion check?
Hmm?
Wouldn't be a religion check if it's
No.
a god that can grant powers.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, a religion check would be more based around Bahamut, based around the actual religion of dragons. This is just a dragon that name.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that
it's
doesn't.
all history.
Big B.
Oh, little B.
Yeah, you have
Will
no
be the
idea.
Based god.
Sorry, Les.
Soliciting
It
protection.
sounds like a dragon.
It does. It's got a very long name. It was just I saw a book somewhere. I was just curious. Anyway, I
Do you-
sidle up next
Do you know
to.
anything else about it that could perhaps?
Well,
Bring back
it's probably silvery. Talks in a very soft voice for being so big.
It talks in a soft voice.
Yes,
Uh,
it's very calming sounding.
It's spoken to you.
I didn't say that necessarily.
Inside check. Wah!
I'm just gonna go on okay, I probably got away with this one.
I think you got away with that one. That was an 8.
Deception check.
Can you roll?
Big old nat one coming here.
No,
From the
this
back-
is all of his new bonuses. It's because it's charisma. So you might have to manually
rework some
recalculate this.
things,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's just see what you roll.
I think that's cocked.
No.
Yep.
It is.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Totally cocked. Better.
Unnatural 20.
Oh.
A natural 20.
Unnatural
Okay.
20.
Um,
It was a 16 to a 19.
yeah, you just like No, Les just kind of a weird guy.
Yeah.
Says
kind
to
of
talk
a
to
weird
dragons.
guy.
Classic Les.
I am.
When has he ever talked to? He just took a 20-minute nap. What does he know about talking to dragons? Fuck this guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will say though, as you two are having this conversation, person in front of you is Casimir, kind of hanging back, reading some of the scrolls and the parchments, and you see him kind of walk around the room a little bit and kind of just like looking at the amber blocks and looking at the crates, not touching anything per se, but he walks up to the block along the east wall, the one closer to me, and he just kind of like looks at it a little bit inside it, and it just kind of like narrows his vision a little bit. And puts his hand onto the block, and then he just kind of like blinks a little bit, and you two are the only ones who notice this. Everybody else is slowly moving forward. And then I need both of you to just make perception checks.
Fuck!
Oh no.
He's fine.
He's getting away from us.
Natural one.
I rolled a 2.
Oh.
Wait, what did I miss?
I wouldn't notice my passive wisdom. My passive perception is 17 now.
Yeah.
You being ahead of everybody at the
Okay.
front of everything, looking around. Too far away.
Allura's in the front. I'm second.
I'm too distracted
But yeah,
with my
okay.
random silver dragon.
Yeah, basically, you two are having a conversation. You just kind of like sideline look over and like, oh, Casimir's doing something a little weird. And then you just look back and he's like, oh, he's got a hand on a statue. That's kind of weird. And then you look back at him again.
Just like a child, just being like, oh.
But he takes his hand off the stone and begins to walk back towards the group. But you can see his
I don't like this.
his hand, the one that he placed on it, kind of begins to wither a little bit.
Oh.
Until it's almost
Casimir?
skeletal.
Are you okay?
And then the other hand begins the same process, and within moments his entire body is shriveled, where he's still walking, but his clothes now hang loose and baggy on his frame. Skin on his face begins to turn black and green.
Can I try and help in any way?
Life burns in his eyes normally.
Hey,
it seems like his body is slowly just been beget by some necrotic corpse.
Casimir, what the fuck?
And he just kind of like turns back at you, and like little bits of skin like fall off the side of his face. And you just like,
Oh.
And I try to hold him up. Is he?
he's standing.
You
he
good,
seems
buddy?
to still have the strength. To
The
stand.
What the
fuck is
fuck
he
did
just
you
doing?
just do?
I did what was necessary.
What necessary? What do you mean?
Can I go examine the block he was looking at? I don't want to touch it. I just want to approach
Inside
it.
Do you know what's
check,
happening, though?
passive
No,
check.
Fuck.
I am curious.
I have the power to bring her back.
Oh.
That's what matters.
You have
And
the
that's what
power.
picking off.
I just rolled really well!
No, it's a roll. 'cause
Yeah,
we'll
it's
pick-
a roll,
we'll-
but like what are you?
I was...
What are you rolling for? Is the question, right? You can't roll a die.
Yeah,
and-
no, I
It's
wanted,
like, I have this.
I wanted to find out, like, what the truth was behind the
There's
situation.
no way of knowing. You literally just said I did what was necessary, and you're like, "What's the truth?" Yeah,
I
so
knew he
explain
was
the
being super
situation.
cagey when I
Hey,
was
well, that
asking him
means
specifically what he
we're-
was looking for.
We're
no
in
idea.
the Amber
And
Temple.
essentially, now with Hope and Les seeing what had happened, and all of you turning around and looking back at Casimir, you see this like skeletal, almost zombie-like
Cast
frame of
turn
him,
undead.
but he still has the same strength of movement that he had before.
Oh shit.
Is he a lich?
Kind of dog magic.
Not sure.
I think we got
But whatever it was, you two saw him touch the stone block. He pulled his hand away. He started to walk back towards you. One hand started to wither, and the other hand, and then his clothes started to like become baggy on him. And
Wow.
then his face started
Fuck.
to
Fuck.
Casimir?
That was not good move on his part.
By the way, shout out to the chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
really?
you.
Active today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Some nice, awesome ones from Supportive Spud and Rat Claws with the Katie going.
What was the meanest thing someone said?
Yeah. The meanest thing, I'm hoping for a Tarrasque comes out of nowhere.
You know what? Fair.
Fair enough. That tracks.
I said
But
hello
yeah,
at the
Rick
beginning
Claus,
and then
shout out to you.
figured
Saw
out.
your TikTok post. Always happy to listen to some good D&D.
TikTok! No! Yes!
It is working.
It is.
It is working.
Yeah, asked what edition we were playing. I jumped in. Glad to hear it. We're playing 5th edition. Yeah, so
Sweet.
doing good. So the two people who stuck around at the end, thank you so much.
Yeah.
But
I think it's you.
one of them was me too. So it's
It's just you guys.
in our own channel.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Get those numbers up.
But yes, you know what? Some good backstory stuff happened.
Yeah, what the
Yeah!
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
It's been building.
And Les was like, "Hey, I think I want to do a level in Sorcerer's." Like, I got you, boo.
I got.
I got you, boo. Alright.
Holy
So
fuck.
yeah,
Love
so
it.
we'll be back next week. Is going to be our last session before Christmas break.
I am.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
shit,
we're not playing
really?
Christmas Eve,
Oh,
No, we're not.
No, we're
Oh
not.
my
I'm
God.
sorry.
and it's
What?
Christmas Eve, and then the week after that
What?
is going to be New Year's Eve. So I think we might be taking a 2-week break.
Yo, what
Do
the-
we want to maybe try to figure out? We'll do this off
We
channel.
can do it off
We'll
channel,
yeah.
but we might do like a
Is it
weekend
that
thing.
freaking
Us,
close
our
to the
Sunday 8-hour
holidays?
session might be in.
And
2 weeks, really.
theoretically tomorrow. Are we
What?
live streaming that?
What?
Oh no, we are.
Yeah, we are.
The Rick and Morty one.
Yeah, the Rick and Morty one shot that Kevin is running. That
We were
none of us have
invited.
any idea. We haven't written backstory. We don't even know what's
Oh,
going on.
nope.
We're
Nope.
literally sitting down at a
I
table and
wasn't gonna
Kevin's
go
playing
anywhere.
Rick and Morty
I'm
at
too
us.
But, you know.
We do have room because a lot of people go.
No, it's
that.
fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
You're always busy.
Yeah, well, it's too late.
I just
Exactly.
like, I like to
Thank
have
you.
the option to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As I would have definitely said no.
I have choir.
I don't support these cells.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll be back for that, streaming
Well,
that
to be
once
fair,
more,
you
but
have to
otherwise it'll be
incredibly
next
high
week.
IQ to
And then we'll be
understand
off until 2020.
We sure we don't
folks.
want to play on Christmas
God.
Eve?
I think we might
I'm not
find
even
one.
gonna-
If we can find a
I
weekend
can't.
Sunday or something, do
Yeah.
an 8-hour session, we could probably swing that.
I'd say
But
4-hour session, but yeah, 4 to 6.
I'm not doing an
8
8-hour
is tough.
I'll do
Eight
like
Yeah.
all the way. No, no.
Even when 8 was like 7 of us in my apartment with me cooking 2 meals.
No, I'm
for us,
kidding, I'm kidding.
Was difficult.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
I'm honestly
but yeah,
just IV drip. I'll go for like 48 hours. I'm
Jesus
ready.
Christ.
just all 3 Lord of the Rings playing in the background, one after another.
my-
Yeah, no, live Rick and
Stream.
Morty is you and some friends of mine that I don't normally ever get to play Dungeons and
A
Dragons.
whole bunch of
So,
bartenders from Vancouver. We're all secret nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All bartenders are secret nerds. That's why they're bartenders.
Are you telling me that restaurant workers are nerds?
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What are you telling me? Culture is popular.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got that. And yeah, other than that,
Bye.
thanks again, Adventure Days.
Bye.
Yeah, Adventure Days.
Yeah.
Check out our affiliate passcode
For 100%
thing.
off.
Yeah.
Dicecream. To get
10%
10% off your order.
At adventuredays.com.
I lost the dice
Cool.
somewhere.
All right, thanks guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
I know.